Yep.
It is tumultuous for both of these squads, and they're going to have to find a way through it to get a win here early and here and now. And guess what? It's time for the match start, presented by Samsung OLED, so let's get straight back into it.
My eyes are definitely going to be on Exeter. I mean, the last Yoru has fallen.
Yeah. What does that say about it? A recession indicator, perhaps?
I think so.
Yeah.
97% Yoru pick rate. Truly the greatest one trick of our time.
And he's on Omen.
And he's now playing Omen.
Yep.
So if you thought the patch was survivable for these Yoru players, nah.
Not the case.
Not gonna happen.
We'll see how this one gets started. Off the rip, this is rapid by Kesnit! He's raring to go.
He's just destroyed them. Single-handedly, by the way. He had no backup over towards Mound.
Just a single one-way smoke.
No one to break his haunt. He does it himself.
Pop in, might get a bit of whirl of her because it's been a bit of a walk-up, and Cloud really just trying to bide their time and wait for the right chance to pounce. Still,
They
slow going.
They definitely thought Loud were going to run a B pistol. They had everything stacked there.
Open for the taking onto the A site. Only 3 players, though, left to stand up against this.
Paranoia and a slide.
We'll see what they can do. Waiting for now, but now getting involved. That is clean with the movement. Okay. Glides across the screen. Buddy is no more. Dark is going to be next, and it's just up to Luke Show at this point. Phenomenal player, but there's only so much that he can do in the face of Kesnit when he's playing like this. It's Envy. A rapid beginning here with a pistol round.
You look at this Envy squad on paper, and I think there are so many players that can actually just take over and win you a game. And Kesnit has got to be... I would say top of the list, but I actually think a lot of the time you might be looking at Demon 1 even more so. But I think in this meta, if Kesnit is playing the Neon, I think Kesnit's the guy to watch for. Because he also plays in a way that's very limit testing.
Sure.
And if he's playing against a squad like Loud, who, you know, they're not playing with the full squad at the moment, they're playing with their assistant coach in, IGL in, it's been a rocky... Honestly, it's been a rocky year and a half for Loud, hasn't it?
I mean, since 2025, Loud have only won 3 games.
Which is a criminal stat as well, because Loud have come so close to winning games during that period. And yet, yeah, they really have known the highest and the lowest points of VCT as an organization.
Exactly so. I mean, 2 of those wins as well. I don't want to keep...
Go on, hop on it.
Into the
no, go on.
It was just at the beginning of kickoff in 2025.
Right.
So...
Right. So since then, they've won 1.
Discounting that, it's just 1 win, essentially, in almost a year.
Yeah.
Over a year.
It's
tough. It's tough.
Well, you look at this game as well, and we sometimes talk about how these opening round-robin games, you don't know what to think of them, but I think this one's fairly clear-cut, and I agree with the desk. The loser of this game is going to be in a nightmarish spot for making playoffs. So it cannot be another loss on the board for Loud if they want to do something in this stage.
Having some form of impact. Early days yet in the series. We don't want to be all doom and gloom just yet.
No, but it sets up the tension that's inherent in this match, even when Loud are not playing at full strength.
Yeah.
Because both teams desperately need this win. The same could absolutely be said for Envy. If Envy lose here against a Loud that isn't at full strength, yeah, their chances of making playoffs are essentially cooked too. And that's a ridiculous thing to be saying week 1. But then when you look at the other teams that are in that
group, it's monstrous.
G2, MIBR, and then they've also got Leviatán and Cloud9, who you never know.
You never know, but still, it's at least what we've seen so far in kickoff.
Yeah.
Bit of a tear gap, so... We'll see, though. This looks like a bit of a brawl now occurring. Oh, he's double TP. Yeah, Buddy. Going to put his body on the line here as well, trying to set the pace for the rest of the squad.
I want to see some TikTok Omen from Extra as well.
Spam through the walls, his bullets whistling past him. Danger zone here for them, but they're just going to be vacating.
Yeah, they've cut noise, pushed back the defenders, and left an insert here with Luke Show. So this is a nice way to let your star player shine. Luke Show is absolutely the biggest win condition for Loud. We've seen that even in their losses, that he can drop astonishingly high numbers.
He's doing a lot here. Puffing up the feathers, really, just posturing like there's many more players over towards A by breaking the prowl, opening the door.
But here's where the veto trip is going to give Envy information. They have to go through it, and then Rossi can always throw the snake bite.
There it is. Preemptive now, just trying to shut them out before they can get forwards into this choke point, and yeah, they're being whittled down. Show still getting involved on the other side of the map. That was towards that A angle with Exeter. Drop the plan. Might be able to go down here. Comes in with a full stick. Able to push it back, and now the retake is fully on the way, and you can't hit with a transfer. That's Verdi all day long. Lights them up, the feed is filled. Entirely in red here for Loud. That's a good win. Knocks down that bonus that was potential always there for Envy.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was an impossible retake. Verti comes up huge with a triple kill. Here's Luke Show, the star player on the flank, but Verti there.
One enemy remaining.
Really nice snapback over towards Poppin and Rossi. Very clean. If you get big performances out of Verti, that could be a game changer for Loud. Because he is a great player, we've seen it, but I think Loud have really struggled to activate the skill that they have on their roster.
Yeah, I would hard agree with that.
Maybe that's where Batty can help.
Yeah, possibly. Coming in with a new voice, but the horn not going to be broken. Luke Show, he's lit up, highlighted, easy pick into the rest of the MV score when they crunch that A rubble area. Now looking towards B. Kesnit as that wall goes down. It's an instinctual bit of spam, but ready onto the return of that trade. Kawazin is there. Now looks like B site is theirs for the taking, but Rossi lurking, waiting in the wings, hunting for an opportunity to strike where it hurts. But that paranoia supplementing it all. Oh my, does it hurt. Envy are rapid on the retake.
They look like they've got some really good game plans here, Envy, for how they want to apply pressure. You know, they're letting Loud into B, and they even let them into A on the pistol, but they've got some very clear game plans of how they want to flood, how they want to retake, and the timings that they do with it.
Yeah.
Now this...
it's fast going.
I don't think this is just disrespect.
They're talking. They're using it as an impromptu tech, not tech pause. We're not going to go
like
there.
a tactical
pause. Yeah.
You don't see many teams doing that.
No, you don't.
Okay. I mean, I'm hoping that we don't have a tech pause afterwards. So I hope that was just a tactical pause there being used.
Bit of min-maxing.
Extra getting on top of rubble. The value from the omen. Maybe he only plays teleport agents.
That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking, well, closer similarity.
Or maybe he's going to follow in the roots of like a TENS where he plays the blue characters. See him picking up the KO on Pearl. Never know. Might still be a pick.
Could be. Scrappy buy from Loud is being forced together. Birdie with Bucky. Deep smoke layered down. There's plenty more opposition though waiting on the other side of things here. Envy. They're waiting for it, but we'll see what Loud's got up their sleeves.
Abre junto. 3, 2, 1. Só juntar. Só juntar, só juntar.
Não pode. Pode puxar do B, tá cuidando.
Só vem. Pode.
E Estera vai parar então.
Sim, vai parar e fez já tava na B.
É só juntar aí. Vamos pela porta?
Bora. Eu tenho o lobo e um cis depois.
Manda ali, liga o gol quando a gente toca o porta. Abrindo, 2, descendo. Nice try, guys. Eu tenho que jogar mais defensivo, cara. Eu tô morrendo muito.
It's that proactivity there from Envy that hits Loud like a truck. I think they were expecting to be able to get that area of the map fairly for free.
Yeah.
You know, Envy have just had a massive brawl over Mount. There's only 2 players left alive. You'd expected them to be either spread or looking to, I don't know, tuck somewhere, and instead they're just hunting for a fight at rubble.
It's the pace that's taking them off, isn't it, off guard?
Yeah.
Yeah, Envy themselves, they are running away with it so far. It's only for the tag time out here. Needs some interjection on the side of Loud. They need to, find a way around it here. You could even play a bit slower, I think, as well. Make Envy overextend themselves. If they're going to be over-rotating to find the noise.
The thing is, though, I don't think Envy are necessarily over-rotating because they also played for either a flood or a set retake.
Sure, yeah.
Strange. The Loud coach there almost acting as if he wasn't able to hear the team, but it seems like they've got clued in now. And Barty's, remember, the assistant coach, and he's literally in the squad here with them.
Yeah.
So this may be more just an opportunity to take some time, take a breather, and discuss what's going on, rather than get the full brain trust involved. But yeah, I think it is difficult to deal with what Envy are currently throwing at you because there's a mix of tempos, right? In that round, they decided to try to team fight them pretty heavily over towards Mount. But if Envy don't get that early engage, they're actually pretty happy to drop back and play for the floods and play for the retakes, like I was saying. And as long as Exter hasn't used his paranoia, as long as Kesnit has still got a slide or a stun left, those retakes are going to have a little bit to work with.
Yeah.
I think bleeding utility out of them early could be very helpful for Loud. Try to engage without getting drawn into a massive team fight. It's a tough start, though.
It is a tough beginning for a squad that really needs to put the best foot forwards.
I think fake pressure to let Luke show lurk is, like, I would call that the bread and butter of how Loud would want to play this map.
Yeah, leading into his talent. Here we go. Beginning to the round, occurring. Loud, not too much in terms of weaponry to work with. They're going to be a bit scattered at the beginning. They've got a lot of space over towards A, though. You're talking about those Luke show lurks.
Yeah, it's a big swap up in terms of the defensive setup, and Poppin just has to fall back here.
Look at the proactivity again.
He's supposed to be gathering information, and he does right inside the smoke.
He's just squaring up to them inside the smoke. Meanwhile, his team was pushing B main. They've since gone back away from that, looking to see if they can fight with the door popped wide open. Kesnet's getting these open sight lines. Verdi slipped the net for now, but is he going to be much liver longer? Hold on, Bandit in hand, and I mean, listen, living and dying right by it. Envy, they are so hungry to make a statement here. As soon as there's signs of life on the map, they are swarming it like piranhas, man.
Yeah, I thought that round was going to be an A retake, where Poppin just grabs a little bit of information, maybe throws a Prowler into the smoke, and then if he catches contact, he goes backwards. That's how I would expect them to be playing it. Instead, no, walks into the smoke, and then the B players come and, have a big brawl instead. Well, Loud are going to have rifles back, but Couch not particularly happy about it.
There you go.
All right.
Now listen, listen. I hear the crowd.
I've seen these earlier on.
Listen, surely this will be a quick one. Surely, right? I'm not cursing things.
Well, you know, the EG 100 Thieves game went by so fast, we were just thinking, let's add a little bit of time in here.
No, we'll get it sorted,
I can see the problem, though. Demon One's got his keyboard the wrong way around. Surely that's a rookie mistake, man.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to tell what buttons you're pressing if you can't see the letters on the keys.
We'll find out what the issue is soon enough, I'm sure. I mean, what have they got to complain about? They're 5-1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just greedy to want more.
No, we're all going, you know, a little bit insane here.
Yeah, we're going a bit kooky today.
It's a silly day.
Extras.
It's a silly day. Ez is closing his eyes, thinking of Yoru.
Yeah. Lie back and think of Yoru. Yeah. Think of the better times.
God, remember Ascension? God. No, we'll be getting into it, I'm sure, soon enough.
Yeah.
We'll find out what the issue is.
It's a nice way to begin the stage, you've got to imagine, for Envy, because they're one of those teams that have got high expectations of themselves, I think.
Yeah.
Because they won in Ascension, they wanted to come in and prove that they were capable of performing at a tier 1 level, and then the players that they've added in are kind of known for their belief in themselves, let's put it like that, their self-confidence. So it's a great way to start.
Well, while we dig into this a little bit more, let's hear from Poppin in the meantime and learn what he learned all from kickoff.
Kickoff was, I mean, that was an experience for sure. We learned a lot, especially me as like the IGL. I think I learned more during that kickoff than I have in like many other situations that I've been in. And it was a lot about just learning, I would say like more about people and how I need to kind of express what I need more. And I would say last year, it was very easy to kind of get everything done the way I'd like to. But this year is a little bit harder. Obviously, we're bringing in new players. We're changing a lot. And that is probably the most beneficial thing for me. Like, I just learned so much from this kickoff. And now I'm confident that we're going to do extremely well in this stage 1.
Oh, welcome back. We're going to be getting things started shortly as well. I believe the issue is resolved. We're getting back into things. And I can already see the timer ticking down, actually. So there we go. Fist bumps exchanged. Ready to get down to business here. 5-1. It's the current scoreline for MV. Finally a buy round online, and a plenty of ults where that came from for Loud.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting, even just the piece that we just heard from Poppin, actually, his little interview where he's saying that they learned how to manage things during kickoff. Oh, Kesnet has fallen instantly. Just a spam from Luke Shaw over towards A main. That's going to help Loud get back on the board.
Yeah, they want to be eager for this one, but they are disjointed at best here. And able to really trade it out, and not enough bullets for the job at hand. Luke Shaw, there's a lot there. Push back the horde that was approaching him. A lot of util as well going to be expended. Rossi's overstaying perhaps here. I don't know, Angle could be overextending. Wants to gear up and take that fight. He's going to be punished as a result of it. Team want an extra. Left to pick up the pieces in a position like this. It's a plan for backside. Loud already know what to do.
Yeah, it's a nice reaction from them. I think at this point it's about trying to convert this 4v2 without using too many of these ultimates.
Yeah. Bit of a jiggle. One way to get them in as well. Crosses up onto the angle, but Loud fully ready for this one. High-lows in the appropriate angles. Bit of a fake TP. Sees, though, is going to be stunting it for now. Be still looking and willing to make a go of things here. They got money to spend, money to burn, and almost there with a spray control. Kawazine dropped down to 6 HP, but a round win for Loud. Necessary one of that.
Yeah, and relying on Luke Shaw to get something big on the board over towards A. Loud get to keep all 5 of their ultimates, so they could actually get some kind of comeback going here. A snowball potential. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Scenic shot.
It's good to see. We're keeping in touch with what Exter's up to on the moment.
No, live check-in.
Kesnit's pulled out the operator. Maybe looking to get him posted on a bit more of an aggressive line, but you've got to be worried about that Viper wall in your face.
Yeah.
And for Demon 1, I think a great opportunity to pop the evolution and stop some of the Loud ults.
Kesnit's waiting here. Looking for those signs of life, and just misses the shot. Takes a bullet to the dome.
Swing.
Lucky to be alive there. Went through the wall. Saved by the bell. Slow and steady for Loud, though. They're going to be looking to show a bit more of a disciplined round.
All right, Demon 1.
Somebody util.
Demon 1 is begging for them to go into him with these ults. He can pop the evolution and just rely on his nutty aim.
Yeah, absolutely. Kesnet! Oh! He more than makes up for it from prior. It's 2 players down in a blink of an eye. Following up as well from that MV to 1-2 punch. Demon 1 on a perch alongside Rossi. And it genuinely is flawless so far. I mean, MV, they are gunning for them. Wherever there's signs of life, whereas the, sound cues, whatever, they just want to chase it.
Yeah, Loud doing the no ult challenge in this game, though. Why is the double swing with no progression smoke or util the way to begin the CXA?
Good question.
It's a really strange way of doing that. And now you've got the next round, which is a must-win because you've forced up into it, where you've still got all 5 ultimates, but you've got a Bulldog and a Sheriff now. So you've just made it harder for yourself.
It's going to be brawly. Walls propped up, brought down again at a moment's notice. Kesnet sliding away, pulled from the action. High ground though, angle, extra.
Spike down A.
Just pops the head of Batty. Luke Shodo is looking to maybe play off the back of that chaos. Sound cues made, but they're all going to be watching for this one. Now Wolves up, Prowler's going to be broken. Stray shots over the shoulder, stun connects. He's in the danger zone now. Luke Show in a world of hurt. Popping, hunting, seeking out the kills. Steel Garden, showstopper, why not? We'll meet his match. Firing off into the back lines there. Darker does bring down Extra for now, slowing once more, calling for the contact plays, but it's all watched for still. Darker has got it covered.
How's he done that?
Just with the Bulldog, but he's not watching that appropriate angle. Kesnet! Still here, still alive.
Styling on Loud towards the end. Loud deciding to invest ultimates, down 4v5, again with bad weaponry. I mean, almost made something out of it. They got it down into a 2v2 that could have been possible, but never got a plant. I think Poppin actually does a great job there of playing aggressively enough to get a kill and actually pull the showstopper towards him as well. His aggression plays in the rest of the squad, and now Loud, their economy's broken, their ult cycle's gone, and this has been a disastrous first half.
Not forcing up now, they're just getting a couple of eyes in. But still, gap in the smoke. Kesnick can play around this one. Flick of the wrist just off that sound cue. Surely overloaded and the pressure is too much. Surely, Kesnick! How is he getting out? Team of one, he laid his life on the line.
He went back for more!
To allow for it, he really did.
He's a madman.
Loud want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, don't go to C. That guy's crazy.
Yeah, this whole team's crazy.
Yeah, well, look at this. The off-angle Odin from Poppin.
Devious.
And Kesnet is just looking for more and more. They're trying to fill this B timing. Now that Demon 1's fallen, the trip is deactivated. Rossi escorting Kesnet with the op onto this position.
Smoke up. Open sideline though again. And slight adjustment, micro aim, flick. Where's the smoke up onto heaven? Not there. Kesnet was given that open angle. Pit on pit. Covering up. Suffocating up towards that B side. This is just brutal to watch. Almost unfair. Odin spam spraying away. Looking to really apply that pressure. Taka. Happy to capitalize though.
30
Poppin
seconds
getting a little
left.
silly with that one.
Yeah. Losing track maybe. Staying around. Another tap to see where the next layer of things are. But that decay damage, it goes both ways. Kicking in. Pocket to play in to go for that plan. But Kesnet working up and around. Making sure to see if they can put a bit of hurt onto them. What is that? Taka! He's just firing pot shots, and listen, him and Luke Show, they clean it all up.
It didn't look comfortable for the Loud players there. The pit coming out from Rossi, decaying them both down to 1 HP, and yet you saw it from Kesnet's point of view when he slid in. You couldn't see a thing.
Chaotic.
It's a major round for Loud to potentially salvage something in this half. Yeah, Darker just found the perfect pocket between the two ultimates to play from.
They needed that. There's 2 more rounds left to play for in this half. Gets the money back online for them.
They need both. Verti attack side upping now. Just looking to control over towards C. Demon 1 and Kesnet have been playing aggressively on that side of the map.
Lucho really not scared to show presence. He's breaking all this util. Essentially alone over towards A. He's got no backup.
He's pulled a lot of attention.
4 players of Envy stacking over towards A, thinking that there's a lot more players waiting here, and they might be right, to be honest, as Loud are slowly working their way over towards the A side now.
With Kesnet not having an op, and also having his Neon ultimate, I think they're pretty happy to play B or even C for retake here. So the stack, Loud are going straight into it.
Yeah.
You can always B pivot here. I mean, look at Darker's position. He gives them the option of going back into B.
The spray down here with the Odin. It's going to be switched. Okay. Spraying and laying down a lot of lead here. This is really uncomfortable territory. The nade is going to be careening past, and now a bit of a pivot into the B side, but this is going to be heard. Kesnet is going to be ready there. Not quite. Smoked off. Paranoia in his face. Forced to respect it. 30 seconds remaining. Time is of the essence. Plan potentially going down. A C's actually does connect there. Just from that trip onto the chokehold. A B connector. Blue room needs to be watched for. Adjustment of the aim. Luke Show, he's still on top of it. Sharp. Wins that fight out against Poppin. Applying pressure now from multiple avenues, but Demon 1's still a threat, and Kesnet alongside him. This is looking really dangerous now. The plan position, not there for Heaven, and it leaves it just down to Luke Show and Verti. They've got to pick up the pieces and see if they can get something else out of it. Just shooting fish in a barrel, except that you can't quite see them, and that's a difficult task indeed. Envy all on top of it.
The double reposition into Heaven, where the spike isn't planted for you. I think there's just so many mistakes in these rounds from Loud. Luxio's given a freebie there as well, but Buddy's completely alone here. I think Darker's supposed to be swinging off his contact, but Envy are already on the line, and it's an easy shot for Kesnet to shut down that ping-pong play.
Yeah.
Loud are going to have one more buy. Final round. Luxio actually picking up the attack side op now. Weird for a Viper, but he's great with the op.
Big horns, that smoke just blossoms a little bit too late. Kesnet takes it out. Demon Wonder will pay the price.
Verti's one away from Showstopper here. Surely that's the game plan of Loud.
Yeah, open access to the orb as well. Do they just want to send this? Potential. Luke Show though with that operator. He gets value in the end. Shots firing, whistling past. Rossi's moving up. Good adjustments. Immediately backs out. Good discipline.
Great aim as well. I don't think Verti did play for the ult orb at all. I think that ult orb is still there over towards Bound.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody else took it, I'm not sure. Darker though, ult online. Rossi playing an off angle.
This angle here.
Envy just want to fight.
It's devious, they really do. Just so eager to see if they can fight them, brute force it, exert their pressure and will upon them. Leaving out a pump in to see if he can hold this one back, but seemingly Loud unaware, but they're aware now. It's actually the cross. Bullets running out, overdrive now for Kesnit. He's looking to put an end to this round. Seal up the half entirely, but slowing it down at the right moments. And that is a crazy jump spot. What is occurring?
Well, a nice
lock
try.
In, lock in. Lock in.
Take a look at this one in the replay. A nice shot from Kesnit. The op final 1v1.
Laugh when you go to the Sentinel view.
That's unfortunate.
Lock in.
Killed me.
Yeah, it's unfortunate end there to the half. With Envy on top of it. 9-3. Unbelievable scenes. They are dominating so far.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Some masterclass and limit testing being put on display by Envy. They are 9-3 in this half, and they've just been following the noise cues, trying to see what the action is, taking a fight to Loud, not scared of them at all.
No, it's ridiculous. Rossi is sat at 12 kills, 1 kill per round. Incredible performance from Rossi. Unfortunately, he's getting dwarfed by his own teammate, Kesnit, who's at 18 kills.
18 and 6.
Yeah, which is a 1.5 KPR, and he's just been running around doing essentially anything he wants with the rifle, with the op. Started on the pistol with the Sheriff. Loud needs something incredible here.
They really do. Slow going for Envy. They were just waiting for the util to get fired forwards, but they have encroached upon a lot of this territory. The door is wide open. Ball's going to be fading. No paranoia to potentially refight, but that's going to be already to stun Ricochet and back. And with Kawazine gone, that's the A player.
Spike down A.
Side is now going to be open for the taking. They realize it. Kesnit is not messing around. He's instantly on the perfect line, possibly pushing into their spawn, but thinks twice against it. This is fast from Loud, though. Looking to see if they can punch back, fight back to some degree. They've got a lot of space of their own.
Spike planted.
Plant down, though, for Envy. 4v4. A couple of players chipped down on the Envy side.
Positioning of Rossi is difficult to root out.
Yeah, it is. He's going to be waiting again for that right timing. He's going to be hearing plenty of it now, the sound cues. Right clicks jumping around. No way, no way. None the wiser, not even aware. Let Rossi get away with murder. 3-piece in the pistol round, leaves it down to Darker. The damage done, softened up.
It was an exceptionally half-hearted clear of rubble, wasn't it? From
really rough.
3 players go over, knowing that Envy are going to have deposited somebody in the post plant there, and they just kind of jump towards him and then go, nah, probably isn't there. And Rossi just gets free pickings, shooting people in the back of the head.
Why is he so patient? Why is he so patient?
Yeah, it was very patient from Rossi. But Loud are being made to look silly in some of these moments. Kawanzin really struggling here. Barty only had a single kill in the first half and now has overtaken the initiator on the scoreboard. I want to see Kawanzin playing some Sky in these future maps.
Yeah, just got the buff, so
yeah,
it's a good time for it.
I mean, get him on the older classic, because at the moment, yeah, this is looking like Loud a kickoff all over again.
Eco stack from Loud, though. They could do some damage here with the pistols, and now they're going to be showing signs of life. But as they peek out, heads are getting popped, taken off the shoulders. Still, better weaponry is what reigns supreme. There's one player lurking towards the back, though. Batty could make all the difference here, especially with the state of affairs. Kesnet dropped down to 10 HP.
That's not the weapon you want.
It's an unwieldy one, isn't it? Good luck getting that under control. It's Exter that puts Batty to rest. Now Dark is left to see what he can do in a spot like this, but not much to it. 32 health, drop down. Kesnet's on the line already. 11 rounds now for Envy. They can't be stopped.
The Ares is laid down on the ground like a poison chalice for you to pick up. Envy know that if one of the Loud players gets that, it's a free kill. You'd be better off using a pistol, I think.
Tough job for Loud. You got to think, and you got to feel for them as well. It's a squad that they were hoping to put their best foot forward, I think, in this stage so far, but
yeah,
the shoe's out of their hands, really, isn't it?
Yeah, the situation's just completely out of their control. And yeah, Buddy does have, you know, competitive experience, played in like tier 2, tier 3 kind of EMEA, but it's not exactly what Loud were looking for.
Hide. Guys,
back to A,
yes, back to A,
They did nothing in, nothing.
Wait, yo, listen, can you give me the War Drone C real fast?
Yes,
and I'm gonna smoke this.
Okay.
Come. Get War Drone that smoke. Wait.
Yep.
Yeah, go for it.
Yep.
Break that.
I'm picking them. Vice, they're playing retake. Vice is here.
Go.
Take the gun.
I'm good.
Looking for kill.
Let's solve Vice, guys. Let's solve Vice, guys.
Yes.
He thorn.
Can we go tree here?
Yeah, I'm with you in a second.
I'm gonna smoke outside.
You have paranoia? You have paranoia?
Actually, can you panda up?
I'll pan up.
we do.
He's inside. He's inside. Wait,
You
wait.
have paranoia or no?
Yo, keep paranoia.
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
3, 2, 1, go.
One left side,
Leave one left side, right in front of you.
Going left side.
Got me. Backside.
Last player
Viper outside.
standing.
Viper outside.
Toxins going up.
That's right.
That's right.
Why don't I have a shorty? All good, all good.
Envy's still showing a level of respect here. It's not all fun and games as much as it might appear to be.
Yeah, they overstepped the mark in terms of how they wanted to accelerate into this site. Kesnet, the paranoia was not actually targeted for where Darker was. I think they'd heard some footsteps by the sound of the comms because they knew that he was playing on site. Paranoia doesn't hit him, and then really quite disjointed between Kesnet and Exter as to how they wanted to put pressure on the anchor there. So Loud pick up a fourth. Yet to get up to an ultimate. Yeah, a very, very long road ahead. They'd have to turn something around massively. The ults would help. They mismanaged the ultimates in the first half. They could have had some kind of snowball.
Deep smoke going to be layered down here just to feign like they could be pushing past the one way. That's not what Envy have got up their sleeves, though. They've got different things on the mind, which is think of it towards this A site.
We actually heard a snippet in the comms there from Demon 1 as well.
High-low just being set up here with the rifles. Trained onto the angles, and Luke Shaw and Darker cleaning up the majority. Still is firing back and forth. Risky business indeed, but it leaves it into a 2v4. Loud will be happy with it.
They're very happy. If they'd managed to get the spray onto Luke Shaw there, maybe the round would have felt a little more winnable. But with Darker down, this is an enormous gap on B, and Loud don't really seem to be super aware of it. Kawanzin is watching for this.
It's an off angle though, so he's not entirely out into the open. Across their placement of Rossi. No way! Buddy looking in the wrong direction there, not anticipating where they could be playing from, and this could just get them right back in.
I don't know why Luke Shaw got off the angle. Sorry, Kawanzin got off the angle. He had to be holding that.
It's layered down. Players starting to see if they can funnel their way in, surround this MV squad, these MV players. A couple of bullets being hot fired. Exter's going to be dropped though. Rossi remains. That means the pit's still up for Luke Shaw. He's a menace man in his own right. That's a 4K in the round for him.
Really nice. That's sick. Really nice fake spam into the pit there. So one player is looking for a wrap around the pit to enter it from an unusual angle, and then a different player is spamming into the pit to make it feel like they're playing for spam rather than going for a timing play like that. And it fed Luxio a free kill. Looked a little messy in terms of letting Envy get a pit down in a 2v3, but they convert.
I like that.
Yeah, the vibes still seem all right.
That's what I mean. I think there's a different energy right now in this game. There's a level of seriousness just when we got a snippet of the comms from Envy realizing, listen, just because you're up to this point doesn't mean the game is over by any means, and Loud are playing like it here. Might be feeling the heat though. That's a paranoia that's going to be used preemptively for more of those signs of life. The C's will connect into the bag. No, missed. Ever so slightly. Baddy just sidestepping with the players. Quickly approaching Baddy. Time to shine here. Verdi, though, drops his way back out and away. He's going to be potentially pressured, but no. Containing the space for his team to get into position. The plant down for Envy, though, critically. One rifle reclaimed. There's a game of timings. Verdi is just drifting in and out between these smokes. Weaving his way to find these opportunities. Now leaves it all down to pop in a 1v4. Not going to be getting much more than that. Traded out instantaneously. So Loud are really putting up some serious signs of life.
Yeah, and they've got some nice ultimates to still be able to work with too. I want to see them utilize this. They have a chance again to put pressure on Envy's economy if they can put their ults to best use. Now, I was going to say a little bit earlier, we heard when we listened to the Envy comms that Demon One's read was if the Vice is over towards A, they're playing A for retake. And it's not exactly what Loud have been doing, but clearly that's how like Envy are envisioning this. Looking to grab information as to what they see over towards A, and then inform Pop in where they're going. Here we see Loud swap up the defensive setup, so they've got a more standard anchor position from Darker on C.
Fight as well to occur over towards A rubble. Split in terms of the presence. Looks like they're just trying to apply, make noise over towards that A rubble angle. Potentially free up the rest of the map, but they're still Loud, squaring up, eager to draw that blood. Rossi, a quick play from him, but it smokes. Luke Show, thinking of weaving his way in and out. No, just holding it down for now. Control of Blue Room. No quick flooding, but now that Steel Garden was waiting for a rainy day and a call is made. They want to fight, push forwards. They got those shorties in hand. It doesn't matter. Oh my, what a shot. Demon One, Evolution in hand. His gun was not taken away and he makes them pay. Luke Shaw now in that 1v2. Trying to spot where these players are. What is that?
Extraordinary value from the star player on Loud. He's fallen off a mini box and still manages to land a headshot. Should never be favored in that.
No way.
And that is an astonishing 1v2 to win. And that feels like it's actually pulled Loud into doable distance.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
I was all ready to talk about Demon One's ultimate and how much value the Vito got there. Going up against a Vice ult and a Raze ult.
He's tanking.
Yeah, he's tanking everything. He didn't even have to tank Verti's ultimate, but the fact that he had a rifle in hand. This, though, how has he reset his aim and managed to control that?
Unbelievable, actually. Unbelievable. And Loud are getting back into this. Listen, the scoreline right now might seem a little bit distant. It's 11-7, but it's forced this timeout out of Envy. And I got to say, listen, this is with Envy winning 2 pistol rounds.
Yeah.
This scoreline like this, Loud are pulling this together with the gun rounds right now. They are in control of this game.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the first half, they couldn't do anything even in the gun rounds, right? I mean, it's 9-3 despite the double pistol. But here, defense side, yeah, they are really finding a lot of success. And these last 3 rounds have all been retake situations where Envy bulldozed their way in, managed to get a plant down, but kind of compromised their health or their positioning or the numbers in order to get into a spot like that. It's not been clean.
No.
And they've often been giving away the first pick as well, Envy, by trying to create a lot of rubble pressure, actually. They lost Demon One doing that, they lost Kesnit doing that. Luxio's holding on to his Viper pit for quite a while. He's had it for the last 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And Envy have decided to force up into this one with Kesnit having Neon ult and a Judge.
Look to put some work in here. Envy, Exeter leading it. TTP in, overdrive now popped off from Kesnit, but as the Thorns preemptively going to be popped off. It's a bait and switch. Baddy tucked to the corner. They might not anticipate this. That's if Envy choose to commit.
Yeah, the wall also missed. I think Kesnet was trying to fake like he could be taking a bit of space on site, and it just hit the door frame. In terms of map control, Envy don't have too much here. They're just creating some presence over towards Mound, threatening that they could go for a C repop. But Luxio, he's very deep right now at Rubble.
Yeah.
It's a weird setup to have Luxio and Darker on a deep position on A.
Because your Vice setup is already there, right? So it's like, yeah, well.
It is weird.
Cover going out.
There's layers to it with game plans like this. Maybe they...
But he needs this paranoia.
He really does.
If he wastes it, it's a bit of a disaster.
MV. Looking to explode, I think, as the smoke dissipates. That's the timing that they're waiting on currently. And there it is. Rifle forward, but that paranoia does connect. TP, Buddy's just trying to get out of dodge, being marked up, seized up. There is a ton to account for right now. The Demon 1 just walking all over them. Like the Terminator, man. He can't be stopped on that site. Runs over the anchor players, but a slight pocket of play, and Buddy's not done, not finished.
Yeah, that's quite nice. Exter maybe not quite understanding how his smoke blooms, or maybe just trying to hold the weird angle it creates himself.
Awkward post-plant positions. These heads are on a swivel right now as that smoke blooms, blossoms. The bullets just barely sailing over the head of Kesnet. Needs to get the hell out of there. Repositions quickly by the MV players, looking to see if they can get into more comfortable territory, but this is still awkward for them. Trying to dominate control over towards Waterfall. And the kills are still being handed up here. There are no trades intact in sight. Inside this one trying to dominate, but Luxio with a swing. It's messy business popping. Left into a 1v1 now.
He's only got 8 bullets total.
Him versus Luxio. Luxio running around now. He can hear the sound cues hopping up on top of the box. And 8 bullets. That's all he needs.
His gun's literally got no bullets left in it. If there had been any sort of extended skirmish there, he had no hope. But Envy get the round on the board that gets them up to map point. We were talking about Kesnet getting up to 20 kills like pretty early on in this game, right? Luxio is now at that same level himself. That's how kind of pressed this Loud comeback has been.
Yeah.
4 in a row, almost 5 in a row there too. Came down to a 1v1, but Loud have got to now put another 5 on the board.
Has to be in a row. There's no more second chances. Envy on the precipice of taking this map now. Up to 12. Trying to make it 13. Hold on.
Where have they
come from? Where have they come from indeed? An ace potentially. No, denied. But listen, the damage done entirely.
I think that's just a ridiculous lineup.
Bit of spam, isn't it? I'm assuming. We'll see.
I mean, there's Viper walls obfuscating the sightline.
Oh my God.
Astonishing.
There's just no way.
I mean, he knows that they're going over to try to open the door. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's Darker's response too. Hey, that could be critical. It actually knocks Envy's economy completely down again. They were on minimum loss bonus because they won in round 19. And that was a 1v1 clutch, so they didn't keep many weapons.
Sets them straight back. Kesnet was just a bucky.
Luxio is saving this ultimate for a rainy day on Pearl.
Play's already in though. Darker now is going to be really tested and pressured, even against the weaker weaponry, because there is a multitude of targets to really deal with. The setup can only do so much in terms of staving them off, because he is surrounded on multiple fronts, finally going down, handing over the weapons, stray shots in the dark. Kawazine hoping for a lucky one. Not the case. Quick plant down. It's always rounds like this you've got to be careful with. Doesn't matter that they're weaker buys. They've handed over 2 of the guns now, and MB are in a prime position to close out Lotus.
It'd be a disastrous way for Loud to let this one fumble.
Haunt not deep enough to be revealing onto the corners. Still, they're getting the job done, aren't they? Kawazine Batty combining their might and pop in blind as anything. It's a quick turnaround here. Loud are still alive.
Good patience too. That was a tough position for Loud to be in. They'd really put themselves in a bad spot there. On the anti-eco, player disadvantage, going up against a Bucky. Extra caught though, dead to rights, and Kawazine really picking himself up. This is an important round. He's had a struggle, but he's there. Kesnet had 18 kills in the first half. He's now got 20.
Yeah, just 20.
That is unusual for your attack side player that was running the entire game in the first 12 rounds.
Yeah, real start drop off. But again, all MV need is 1. They have guns in their hands this time. Rifles in play. Opportunities abound now, especially when you line up like that. Entire firing squad of MV was waiting to receive some form of action, with Verdi being dropped to big kill. weakens the A side overall.
Luxo, Darker, and Kawanzin, all with massive ultimates. A must-win round. And they don't really look like they're in great positions to use them if Envy end A.
No. And Batty's just holding out the paranoia here after contact.
He's expecting this to go into a B pivot, but any B pivot would first tap the door, and that would put him in a really rough spot.
Luxo, again, posturing almost single-handedly here. There's no real help for him. He's just revealing himself, but as that wall drops, so does he. Rossi takes him out. Doors open. Kawazin has got to be the playmaker, the difference maker. The spray control is not intact. Getting traded out. Darker and Batty have got to do it all. Popping, cleaning up now, and it leaves it to the assistant coach. Having to fill in. 1v4, pit down, plant down. Impossibilities, really, with Demon 1 aiming like that. 13-9. So finish we're looking at here on Lotus to open.
But you do have to create pressure elsewhere on the map, but not commit to the pressure. And Romanilli just said that Loud want to keep things very simple today.
I'm trying to focus on fixing a lot of their micro decisions by the sounds of it. Bit of an A fight, but not quite a fight. It's just conceded immediately in terms of space. Loud got open access to it. Biggle almost punished. That is difficult. Shodo gets out of dodge there with a rendezvous, and now we're going to be sending it flying forward to the drones. Verdi as well, putting his body on a line to see if he can get his team into the action, but they're ready, waiting in the wings towards Art, and they have put a stop to the hit entirely. Darker, the only one left alive to do it.
Yeah, it's a strange one there. Loud going for double smokes towards backside instead of smoking off Art, just assuming Luxo could take all that space. And Darker was supposed to be the late game backstab. Done a lot of damage there, but a 1v4 would be outrageous, especially with the spike just not under his control.
All lined up. There's one player approaching. I believe that's Demon 1 as well, just to put the dagger to the back in case Poppin doesn't get the job done. But it's another pistol round, following the trend.
They made it a bit too easy there for Envy. You've got to call, as soon as Luxo doesn't get that space and has to TP out of Art, you need to smoke Art off. The reason that he wasn't able to take the space is because Envy are hard committed to it. So you don't want to just give them this free avenue. Look at them, just free firing into Loud from the side as they enter through that choke point. Yeah, it's tough. Again, you've got to give them a bit of bail because they're not playing with their main roster. They're not playing with their main RGL. They are playing with their assistant coach at the moment, but man, it's just constant tragedy for this Loud organization recently. They're in struggle city.
Yeah, can't get a good start. Gonna be just as difficult in a round like this. Oh my God! Okay, Poppin. He will be falling. Hold on, the classics and the pistols might be doing a bit of work. Lined up though for that one. Oh, this is just getting messy as anything, isn't it? Real scrap that Envy are opting into entirely here. Potentially handing over guns in the process. It's Yuto flying in your face. You can't see a bloody thing, and Rossi limping away from that engagement, and Luxo on the backstab. There's not much in terms of the way to work with here, just trying to create that noise cue. There's no plant down here. They're trying to create a bit of noise and hope that they don't just turn around for this one. Luxo trying to activate on the backstab. It's getting messy. Judge picked up. Okay. Thrifty back. That round was all over the place.
I beg you, don't judge Americas by that round. I beg you, we're better than this. We're better. I swear to you, we're better than this.
He's not saying that.
This was an insane round. Everybody is whipping everything, and they know it as well. They know it down there on the stage.
It's a silly day.
It's a great recovery from Loud, though. If you're looking at it through their lens, it puts them on a nice pathway. Rifles back in their hands. We were just talking about how they're in struggle city. Really difficult to get anything started. And there they've just landed, buddy, a four-person 0 point over towards A, so they know that B is essentially free. Max, there is a single person there.
They're sending it all the way up through lane, next to the TP. You were overexposed for a second there. Able to hold up control over towards Heaven. The rest of Envy as well going to be soon joining him.
Now, of course, Loud, with better weaponry, completely set up, are going to control this beautifully.
Yes, of course they are, with Luxo late to the party. Hold on, surely. The guns in your hands, these players weakened and eventually fell. There it is, okay.
All
it is all good. Sigh of relief.
And now we're going to get back to some normal rifle round behavior.
Don't know about that one. Don't know about that one.
This is all based off the information that they get from Body's 0 point. Throws it over towards A main. Nobody on Envy broke it. 4 players detected. You know that you can just go immediately to B. Keep it simple. Keep the round safe. Extra. Okay, gets a drop from a teammate, and he's got a weapon to work with. So an Op and an Odin on defense here.
It's got some bite to it.
But that also means there's 3 players with light armor that Luxio could pick off with the Outlaw.
Yeah, against the Outlaw. Spot, baits it out with the shot, so now they know there's the operator online. Would have been tracking the money anyway, but it's nice to have confirmation. That's a nice one.
Just creates this very early timing for Luxio. Weird to be roaming around like this with an Outlaw deep in mid, but he has got so much space.
Yep.
Envy are not thinking about this timing. Nobody has picked up water.
Oh my God. I mean, just a massive wedge in the middle of the map that is just unaccounted for right now, Kesnit.
I can't believe no one's even thinking
no
about
one's
this.
thinking about it at all, with it being broken. This is disarray currently in terms of the communication, and back to the world, Kesnit. Not long to the world. Okay, we got him eventually. And picked up the Outlaw, or I should say the operator. It's a much bigger one at that. Rossi. He's managed to do a lot from a spot like that. 3 kills, immediately turn the tide of the battle potentially now. 2v2. That's what we're looking at.
Last player standing.
Demon 1 though. Head filled with lead. Dark going to be sailing towards the back, but I know that Poppin's not really getting active too much. Immediate reposition, Poppin. He's taking liberties right now. Hopping towards the top of the box, just spotted barely ahead, and that is not the right weapon for the job. It's rare we say that when referring to the Odin.
Yeah, that's one of the few situations in which you don't want the weapon in your hand. What a wild round again.
It's a crazy one.
I mean, this is crazy.
I mean,
how are we getting these kind of moments in this game? I'd love to hear what was going on in the Envy comms during that round.
Yeah.
I've got to imagine that because Exter is not as used to playing Veto, he just didn't comm that his trip was down, because there was no defensive macro adjustment for the fact that his trip got broken. Nobody went to pick it up. Nobody went to pick up water. They didn't do anything aggressive to try to find extra information elsewhere. They just allowed Luxio to wiggle through and do anything he liked.
and nobody was aware.
Nobody was even trying to pick up the timing behind them.
I mean, instant time are going to be called here for Envy, but yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's just that uncomfortable territory for a player like Exter, who's playing new roles now, and everybody's relaxing back, thinking about what to do differently. I mean, we know what to do differently. They know as well.
Yeah.
Round was essentially lost off the back of that one. Pearl is a map where you need to be very careful in terms of how you keep your map control, because it's spread out, it's big.
Yeah, information I think is the biggest part of how you play the defense side.
Yeah.
Especially now that you don't have the Yoru that can go and grab info somewhere and TP back.
It's a big luxury that a lot of teams maybe were getting too used to.
But also, that's the reason why you play Killjoy on this map.
Yeah.
The NRG composition that Envy have based or stolen their version of runs the Killjoy because you have an alarm bot and a turret to be able to give you great amounts of information to help the double drone and make sure that you have info everywhere on defense side. And Exter only has the 1 trip, and it has gotta be calmed when it gets broken.
Entirely open for the taking here. There's no gamble stack from Envy. They just want to fight and gear up into mid, but hail of bullets. Got to be careful of that one. And, well, Kesnit.
It's a stunner.
It really is. Gearing up for more. He's got players by his side. Deep drone to set him up potentially a little bit further. It's going to be broken. Posturing down, potentially overextending themselves. But Kesnit, never outdone. This guy's shining right now currently. Refract back, it's Sheriffs across the board. Why not? Put it on a bit of a show for us today, Envy. Highlight reels and clips abound. Dark is left in a 1v2 and he is quickly surrounded.
A wild thrifty from Envy, but I think that one's quite different to the previous that we've seen. I feel like a lot of the thrifties that we've had in this game so far have been the team fumbling with the anti-eco and making mistakes and getting overwhelmed. This one was some astonishing shots coming out from Kesnit.
Yeah, raw individual skill.
Yeah, which you are going to get from Envy. Just showing Luxio that if he takes an honest gunfight against him rather than shooting him with an outlaw in the back, that he's got it on lock. That's a crazy round.
You want to play?
A lot of odds on life allowed. to get a bit of a reset going into this. TP?
Oh,
That was
fast
cancelled.
enough.
Yeah, he wasn't fast enough there. Next is revealed. This is a really difficult spot, and Luke Shaw quick to punish.
That's the kind of situation where the Yoru would be able to get out of that.
Vamos tá bem agora.
Vai. Sai correndo aqui.
Drona no sub, Bet.
Guys, tô chegando. Eu posso ultar Ezek, tá bom?
Tá, Kawan, dá um, você ulta aqui, ok?
Eu ulto. Vai no X.
Eu vou caceu,
Espera,
vamos caceu, base e bosta na esquerda, Rich, ok?
Ok?
Base na esquerda aqui.
Pronto, guys?
Espera. 2 segundos.
Tá, tô pronto, guys.
Voltar reta aqui, tá bom?
Bora, 3.
Estrelas?
Res em mim. Guys, volta correndo, volta no shield e depois corre pra base, tá?
Alguém rushou. Amaral, alguém teve que fechar o mapa. Se eles estavam perto pra fazer.
Vamos contato aqui, contato.
Tá, vamos aqui, bora.
Eu espato o museu depois.
Manda, volta errado.
Vamos ter pra cá museu.
Volta, botei um tempo, bora.
30 seconds
Para museu.
left.
É placa. Vai dar museu.
Bota aqui. Bora aqui, só.
Só volta.
Museu, Jojin.
Guys, vamos comer museu depois, tá?
Flasha.
Vamos comer museu depois quando essa ult acabar, guys. Vem. Eles têm ult da A, já tem que fazer alguma coisa aqui.
Banga,
Ó, espera acabar. Vou
Para
bancar.
e vai pulando, vai pulando.
Vai pra direita agora, vem. Direita, vem, guys. 3, 2, 1, abrir.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
É que não tá... Tá muito errado.
Poppin does an excellent job there of just mowing them down with the Odin. Got onto an angle, playing the Cosmic Divide to a beautiful spot as well from Demon 1. Really isolating those players in back halls, but I also want to draw attention to this ult combo that they went for. Look at this. So throwing out the Teo ult, at the same time, look at Bati. Bati is completely stuck there.
Yeah.
You've got combos to slow people down. You've got a saturate that you can throw in. I mean, if you wanted to, you could throw an Astra stun on top of that. You're
Slow
forcing them
to
into the
call.
site, but if they do get hit by any of the slows or stuns, they are cooked in that spot.
Yeah, really preemptive heads-up play there from MV. They were very aware what was being cooked here. Salmo was also going to be pressed down here. This is an all-in fight over towards that A main area, but not taken for now. Pause, but Loud looking to see if they can gear up, but Paddy's way ahead of the rest of his team here. There's no trade intact. Birdie was dropped at a moment's notice. Team on 1. Really making a mockery now. He's running all over them here next, but it wants to do it.
Spike down. Attacker
Statement of a round here by Envy.
Could have been an overfight, to be honest with you, but they just barrel in. All three of them committed in the same way. And Darker's in an unwinnable spot again. What a round from Demon 1. His aim looks beautiful to watch.
Yeah, crispy.
But that's the kind of thing that I think was off a little bit at kickoff, was that you could tell some of the members of Envy, I mean, I would say mostly the older members of Envy, wanted to do these kind of rounds where they fight further than you would expect. And sometimes people were just not on the same
Bro, they can't
wavelength.
guard me, bro!
Loud with the timeout here. It's a weird way to take the A main fight. I mean, it's living rent-free in my head just seeing Batty just swing with no util as a KO.
Yeah, but again, you've
Yeah.
got to say,
Gotta
he
give
is,
him
he is the sub-player, he's
Some
their
bailout.
assistant coach,
Yeah,
right?
some
Like,
bailout, right? He hasn't played in a while. You're right, it's the assistant coach.
You
so.
are gonna see some weird moments from this Loud team,
Yeah.
and I think we already have. But I guess you're right in the sense that it is suboptimal. It is also their map pick. You would expect them to have some slightly more fleshed out stuff, and he is the assistant coach, so they should know how their refight into A main is supposed to work in that spot. I think in theory on the attack side as well, you really want Verti to be activated too. Your big people to be looking at on Loud are either Luke Shaw on a bit of a lurk somewhere, you know, opening up the map by lurking through mid, or maybe even getting inserted deep down B.
Yeah.
And then the other big win condition is, can Verti get in on these execs, supported by the double initiators, and find some success? I mean, tangent, but I also think it's kind of crazy that they're not playing any kind of a sky look at all on, and maybe it's just the maps. Maybe we'll see
it could be.
on other maps.
But for Kamazine,
Kalanzine picks it up, but not been the case so far.
They're really swatted down, I think, from that prior A fight. They are taking it slow going, using the drone to see if they can take up a bit of space. Demon 1 trying to take a timing respected. He's A really unfortunate spot here, but maybe the aim will bail him out. Yes, it will. But he's able to trade that. I was quick with the response. That's a Hunter's Fury to supplement, but there's a game of timings. Luke Shodo is accounted for. Rossi waiting and just wades straight into that fight from behind.
Yeah, this time Envy looking a lot more on point in terms of how their protocols look and how they're covering these gaps through mid. And now they back up. They know that they're in a 4v2. Huge advantage position.
Yeah, over-rotated though.
Yeah, but I think they're just happy to play together, death ball around, and make sure that they trade each other out. You know, they've still got eyes on these different avenues, right? It's not like Extra's just letting somebody potentially walk through water.
Sure.
It's going to be hard for Loud to generate any kind of pick from this position, which they
up.
need to do, right? Like, in order to win a 2v4, you need to be able to find and create an equalizing advantage.
Outlaw. Well, okay, didn't adjust in time there. It's taken out. Tap, seeing what kinds of Yuto goes forwards. That's a brilliant flash. Supporting Yuto, we were just talking about that. Darker! He unleashes! That's a 4-piece from seemingly nowhere.
That is lovely from Loud. I want to see more of that.
That is beautiful
A
work.
fake plant from Buddy. Baits out the salvo, so gives away the position of the Tejo. And then, as soon as he's gone to the fake plant, instantly the flash over immaculately connects onto Rossi and Exter. That's how you set up the big players on Loud for success.
That's what you want to see.
Because it all was Darker and Luke Show on Lotus, and it feels the same here.
Yeah. Immediate timeout again. This is the second one used by Envy. Short succession. This is the first half so far that we're seeing of Pearl.
And both of these timeouts have come after like bad rounds, right?
Yeah.
Envy lost that crazy round where they just let Luke Show wander through mid completely alone. And then this one where they've lost a 4v2 that I'm sure they think they should have been able to convert. But they got caught so heavily by Buddy's flash. Great play.
Yeah, it really was. Good piece of supportive util.
They've still got money to work with here though, Envy. It's not a disaster, but Loud is certainly pushing them. It feels, you know, more like that second half of Lotus than the first. A bit more even.
They kept it going from that second half onwards now. 4-4. What more can they do? Envy with the timeout, looking to see if they can make some adjustments as well, but possibly just tightening up their defensive setups, but ensuring that even in a micro sense as well, you've got players ready for anti-flash positions.
Well, this round they're going to get tested. How good are they at being able to anticipate Kesnit's positioning with the op? He's on top of the boxes here towards B long, so he gets sightlines over the top of this smoke.
Flash overhead. Buddy as well, he's just leaping into the fray. That's a shot to the shin, and he's barely alive. Still twisting and turning in the air. He's able to escape most of the ire of these fights. Pot shots fired by Kesnit. Blindly into the smoke, but he might get lucky with one or two. Buddy with that overdrive will be immediately shut down just from that prior damage. Weak as anything.
Overcommitment there from Loud, trying to go heavily behind the Neon. Through an Astropole as well. You're going through a smoke, through an Astropole. Really, really difficult to commit in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Especially when Envy is really happy to over-rotate. Look at Demon 1 pushed up on the other side of the map too.
He's got all the space in A main. Doesn't have to worry about Art being unaccounted for this entire time.
I really don't think he's that worried though. He's been so confident in terms of how he's taking the fights. He's just relying on his aim.
He's got no way to get out of this other than just brute force. More players where that came from, but Karazim with that recourse style was ready for it. Returns the fire almost immediately. Pop in. This is next time up, and it was Darker in Astral form. He wasn't quite ready to be able to respond. It's a spike drop down. 30 seconds remaining.
30 seconds left.
Cosmic Divide does cut up the site. Gonna get a bit of a move on here. Plant hard committed. And we're just looking to see if they can wait for this wall to dissipate before they start to engage. Kesnit with residency inside this smoke. Body in hand, and Luke Show going exploring. Luke Show, Darker! Almost getting it done. Kesnit, though, saves the day for them, and that player advantage coming in handy here.
Another situation, though, where Darker almost wins a phenomenal round for Loud. He is on point, 13 kills across 9 rounds. Envy, though, really happy to be contesting in spots like this. Choosing to challenge, choosing to fight as Loud takes space over towards A main.
Yeah.
Both of the Astras at the top of the scoreboard, both feeling very, very confident.
It's an even game so far.
Pings on the minimap would imply there's going to be a big clash in mid here.
Kesnet, right popped, and he's ready for surely this birdie! Chops him down, rifle in hand. The rest of his team is not far behind yet. Louder, quick with the cleanup entirely here, and even just ready for that one. I mean, Ross is just hopping into the fight, trying to see what he can get done there. 5-5, these are rapid-fire rounds in some cases.
Yeah, both teams just happened to pick a strategy there that saw them clash in the first 5 seconds in mid.
Look at this.
Bertie finally getting some feel of the game. He was 1-10. 1-9, 1-10, something like that before he managed to get those 2 kills, shutting down a mid fight. And the economy's completely broken here from Envy.
Yeah, only 2 rounds left to play for in this.
It's a far cry from the dominance they had on the defense side of Lotus. So that was their map pick.
Starting to see more uncomfortable territory, and what's it doing to them? Loud, again, taking a peek and a gander and a walk all the way down mid here. That avenue, again, unaccounted for. There's no util to give the indicator right now, and Envy are making a lot of footsteps in the process. Drone to push forwards here. There's a stack, but just classics. There's always danger here, because you might be meeting a lot of them right now. Or you can be put into the bloody blender. Luke will be happy with that one.
Go on, Kesnet. Give it to him.
Yeah.
Don't ruin the clip.
He's thinking about sending it. No, he's going to ruin it. 60 seconds of saving, actually, with a Bucky. Luke Show, 4 kills. He's hoping for the last eco, isn't he? God, he's hunting for it.
Have a word with yourself, Kesnet.
No, completely denies it.
Oh,
Luke Show would love to get this. He gets his ult online for the next.
They already got
final
Kamanzine and
round.
Bati's ults online through this round as well. So, yeah, Loud have actually generated themselves a really nice ult bank to be able to get an advantage at the end of the half.
He's so far away from the spike.
It's criminal. It's actually criminal. Kesnet's literally just wasting our time. What are you seeking to get done here? You are not going to damage the Loud economy.
He's denying the clip.
Yeah, he really is. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it's psychological.
He's killing the morale.
Oh. And he will go down. Yeah, has to commit the dash for it, but he will go down. So they're laughing about it.
Yeah. The ultimates here are really important for Loud. They need to make the best of this opportunity that they've given themselves to find an advantage and go up 7-5.5. That would be the best that they've done across the match so far, right? But it's about using the ults well. And I think that is something that they did so poorly on Lotus. Do they have a game plan that uses Bati and Kawanzine's double initiator ults here?
I look to keep it simple. Deep dart's going to be layered in. For presence, this is full steam ahead. Everybody's going to be moving forwards now. That is the Hunter's Fury, and a good tag as well from that long-range dart. Kesnet tucked tight to the corner, won't be able to survive it. The shot's going wide, but that's a lot of util used in response. A knife towards the back. Flash overhead, waiting for the right timing on this one, but again, Envy have bodies in the right place. Poppin, putting up a stalwart of a defense, and he has shut them down. The door in their face. Pull where that came from, Demon 1 though! Oh my! Slingshot it back, and Poppin's left. Weakened Luke Show. This late lurk activating, surely there's a level of awareness. Knife out for Poppin! He doesn't have a clue!
Luke Show does it to them again, threads the needle, and converts the round. Almost saw a round from Poppin, the eponymous swing, doing work.
Yeah.
But Loud do capitalize. They do use their ultimates, they find that advantage, and actually are looking pretty good headed into the halftime break here.
7-5 considering he lost the pistol. Did thrifty it right back after, but still. Louder in a prime spot. And we'll see if they can keep it going as well, moving forwards into the second half of Pearl. All to play for Loud. Mightily important game.
Not much longer now, and I will also take to the skies.
Me too.
You? No, you will always be a worm.
Just wait and see.
Red Bull gives you wings.
As we get into the second half, make sure to hit up expressvpn.com/VCT for in-game rewards with advanced and pro plans right now. As we look forward to the second half of this one, taking a bit of a stand. Listen, good for the circulation.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, Loud have got themselves into a really nice spot here. They managed to eco the second round, crazy stuff at the beginning here on Pearl. But as they settled into it towards the end, finding those moments to win clutches, synced up some nice moments. The body flash into Darker's clutch was a brilliant 2v4. But technically, Envy have won all of the pistols so far, even though Loud were the ones to actually get off to a better footing to start the half.
That's what we'll be keeping our eye on. Pistol round win for Loud would already put them on a much better course. As good as this map is so far for them. Luke Show is revealed. Doesn't overstay it though. Immediately going to be drifting back with that TP.
Envy are trying to fake B, but they must have heard the KO flash.
I mean, just with popping is not enough to sell it here, but the rest of the team is going to be able to get into A scot-free. Trademark, tripped. Slows them down for now.
I think the question is, do they think about the flank at all here?
Yeah, circling behind, aren't they?
Oh, that knife is so good. That knife just makes it feel like they are not in A main at all.
Cancels the drone.
Oh wait, no, they're pushing.
Hold on, they're pushing into this one with the smokes. It dissipates, and not ready for that. So shortly in the hands of Luke Show, and he picks up a bit of an upgrade. Loud now activating right from the main avenue. And Buddy just swings in from the side to put the business into the man. That is bullets into the bodies, making it personal. But a pistol round, finally. This has been eluding Loud. A brilliant start to the second half.
Yeah, Loud finally start off on the right footing in one of these halves. Now it's just all about converting it, because we have seen some of these moments get really scrappy. But yeah, this one was nice. I like the confidence as well to re-challenge popping over towards B long. They didn't get scared by a solo Sova on that side of the map. Decided to double refight into him. And not just getting the kill on Poppin, but also confirming that it was a fake.
Yeah.
And those mid-push players got the wraparound in the right direction. Goal of this round, keep it clean.
The weaponry is a bit all over the place, to be honest. I mean, you've got stingers in play.
Yeah, they can afford to have one player go down, but ideally they'd like to keep the rest of the weaponry for a bonus.
Keep drone use off the rip here, Kawazine. Gets a bit of info. It's broken though, and hiding the intent that Envy were going for, but players are spotted out. Kawazine a bit smarter than that, and he hears the rumble of the footsteps. Pressure mounting, but all handled. Dissuaded and diffused at a moment's notice.
Well, I would call that one clean.
Yeah.
A flawless round from Loud there. And now what kind of game plan do they have for their bonus? The weaponry is not great, but it's really good in the tight areas of the map. It's very good if you can play around smokes. They've got two stingers, they've got a judge. You just saw it here when they tried to play around the art smoke. It's nice if they can funnel Envy through tight gaps. Instead, though, they're looking to take a fight B long
with these guns.
With these guns.
It's interesting, isn't it? You don't expect it.
No, I wouldn't expect it.
You really wouldn't. Drone, though, is going to be spotting this one out. That's 3 players caught out with that. Suppressed on top of it. So instant reaction from Envy.
Well, they're running at him.
Filling the gap up. Yeah, they want to fight them. Okay, this is going to be close quarters if they choose to opt in.
This is a crazy call.
This is a crazy call. I mean, you might have the rifles, but you're up against stingers. And that is where they thrive, Darker. Bit of an overpeak in the end there. Verdi not able to trade or help out, not when he has the judge in hand, but a spike has been dropped down in their laps. Salvos pushing them back and away. Forced to respect it. Picks it up, reclaiming that spike, but again, Loud gearing up for a bit of a fight and a push, and it is at least handled in the end. Rossi aware that it is pricey, though.
Yeah, I'd say that Envy got away with that one. It looked like an astonishing overcook to run into the stacked site through the tiny choke point against double stingers and a judge. But, all right, they get away with it. Their economy is going to be hurting, though, as you're saying. I think Loud should be fairly happy with that. It was a winnable moment, but look at this buy.
Yeah.
This buy is kind of shocking.
No armor?
No armor on Poppin at all.
Just going for the rifle.
Launching missiles.
So to lay it down here. There's a fight opted into by Loud. Deep down to help them out on top of it. Poppin. Using the drone. It's a good tag as well. Verti will be forced to respect it. Kesnin, what is this timing that he's taken? It's going to be that saturate layer down at his feet to ensure that there is no follow-up towards it. Inside the smoke, trying to again layer it down with bits and pieces, portions of the rifles. Dark is being squeezed from every single avenue, and he's feeling the panic
That's
in that moment.
Really nice reaction from Envy to go back and help Rossi there.
Shot gone wide. Operator missing for Luke Show here, and he's going to be finished off. Batty already revealed of his position.
Yeah.
Triggered the trip.
Nothing to be done here. This was Loud's opportunity to put some real pressure down, but they themselves in a lot of an economical squeeze. Oh man, that's not what you want to see.
Where's that one going? To the moon, but it happens anyway, and it works out.
Yeah, give it to him. Give it to him. How many chances is Batty going to get to spray Kesnit's body in a match?
There is a level of psychological diff, you know, when you're going up against a coach, even if he was a former player. Batty's got that on his side, but for now, just going to be keeping the rifle in his grips. That's what he's hoping for.
It's a bit of a weird spot because Envy would like to take the rifle away, but at the same time, they themselves don't have very much money to play with. So you get into a weird stalemate where neither team really wants to take the contest here towards the end. But that's tough for Loud. They just bought an Op and an Odin, and you're right in terms of what you called out. The timing from Kesnit was so rapid. He's here 13 seconds into the round, and he's already gone through Art, and he's fighting behind the A main push.
See that one again, yeah. It's good plays. I mean, I'm glad that Loud are having fun with it, because the pressure should be off them in a situation like this.
Yeah.
Much as we were talking about how important it is for this org to pick themselves back up, they've had a really, really dire last year in 2025. It was not great from them, but they understand the circumstances, and they understand that they are the underdogs no matter what.
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, I was surprised, actually, that half of us on the broadcast were predicting them to win this game when they're in such a difficult spot playing with a replacement instead of their IGL that they were looking to pick up.
They might know more ball than us, I think, at this point, Josh.
Hey, maybe.
Depends how this map goes.
Yeah, Loud are currently winning.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen over towards Breeze, if indeed we end up going there. But right now, it's an opportunity for Envy to start equalizing this game again.
Yeah.
Loud with the back of a pistol, continuing that momentum from the first half, but here's where Envy start to chip away a little bit and start to build up a bank of their own. They're going to start getting close to ults as well, and the ults can definitely turn the tide with this composition.
Oh, yeah.
The ults are really good.
On almost every single player, you can always use it to cook up a play on the attack side, so... Bit of a split so far for Envy on their attack. 2-3, leaving a lot of mid-presence unaccounted for. Luke Shaw will be happy again to absorb up some of the space, but...
He's heard them.
He has. Footsteps rotating back over towards B, but there's a deep push into A main. They've got 3 players there.
Yeah.
Listen, Loud are not reacting.
You got to speed that up. If you want to get fast on the flank behind Envy, who you've just heard, oh man, and that
is a huge one.
All 5.
All 5. That's an indicator.
Oh,
They're right behind them, guys. Hold on, you spotted them out. You're putting a bit of a pinch on, but already Verdi's not really ready for that kind of ire. Luke Shaw.
It's awkward for Envy,
It's really
though.
awkward.
They didn't catch a player in spawn, so now do we accelerate towards B? What if there's a stack there? Do we go back and deal with the flankers?
Yeah. Squeeze now. Rest allowed as well. A bit slow going towards this. The drone will clear most of it, and again, walking up steadily. Envy might just be walking into a trap, though. Peek at your own peril in a position like this, because the bodies have arrived. The reinforcements here to try and put a stop to this one. Still the rifles again might prevail. The flash over the head. This is ult expended. Anything to try and get this one over the line. Virgin pass even being used. Kesnit. Frags back. Luke Shaw. AD just trying to tap away with that headhunter in hand, but he can't really get much more done. Envy circumvent most of the danger there.
Yeah, this time they go into the stack again on an anti-eco, but I think this one's more understandable because they're boxed in. And the way in which they deal with it, Extra commits, the rest of the team backs up, but actually Extra ends up being quite nice bait there. The rest of the players force the swings out of Loud and get the punish.
Demon 1 with the movement, Panchito.
Couple of ults online now for a Demon 1 on Poppin. Do they have a game plan?
Missile deployed. From there.
Chamber.
Okay,
You wanna hit on him?
Yes.
Yeah, let's hit him with the drone. Let's hit him with the drone.
I'm droning. Nothing.
Okay, he's upping.
Guys, can you pull back? Can you swing on him?
Yeah, 3, 2, 1 point back.
88 on KO, they know it's fake, guys. 2 were behind though.
I'm
3
doing
here
pit, I'm
max.
doing pit.
3 here max, 3 here max.
Sorry. Forward.
Fight art.
I'm with you guys.
Fight art, come.
Can you guys triple hard?
Never cancel.
I'm
We're good.
playing
Cancel.
I'm playing default.
Guys, they have Astral, I'm playing out.
I'm staying dugout. I have secret.
Hold
Okay,
my
I'm
art.
playing him in. No, I'm playing him in. I have to get out.
One
secret, one
KO
up.
was CT.
Yo, I'm playing out as well. I'm playing out
They
as
have
well.
Astral. We're gonna refight in when they get Astral, okay?
Watch my secret.
Yes, held. 88 on KO, guys.
I have no smokes.
Okay, I'm facing Flower right now.
Okay.
Max, can we hold these two for them? Can we hold this? We have a trip there. We don't need to hold it. We just hold
Yeah.
88.
One
KO.
arm.
Don't be exposed.
Can you smoke?
Can you Astral?
5 seconds.
Astral like this?
3 seconds. Hold it.
are divided.
We're
One
good.
flowers. I mean, fit.
2.
I'm fine. I have the TP out.
3.
Time.
I'm good. I'm really good.
Run through. We gotta run through.
One side, guys. Default.
On the right side.
Good sick.
Last player
It's taken.
standing.
Nice try, guys.
Ooh, nice try.
Alright, guys.
It was a really nice try, guys. It was a really nice try. They saved the up. Guys, it's okay.
Rossi really vocal in those situations. Incredibly vocal. Setting up, where he wanted the Astral Wall to come down from Demon 1, allowing Kesnet a little pocket to play around. But at the end of the day, even though they were aware that there was going to be a Cosmic Divide retake coming through, they didn't actually have the bodies in front of it to be able to fight. Despite the fact that they were coming, we have to push forwards when their Astral Wall comes in. In the end, Verti just caught them pushing into those spots. Enormous mistake from Poppin as well, trying to fight with an Odin down B long, while his team had commed that they wanted to take the fight in A main. And you could see that he was frustrated with himself, kept comming. Guys, I did some damage to the KO.
Yeah, it was little interjections. Just a reminder of the impact in the round.
Yeah. I've been there.
I've definitely been there.
No, he's won, guys.
He's won. Still, for Envy, I was feeling a little bit chaotic at times in the communication. Is she ready for this? Shot going wide there for Luke Show. Not done yet, though. He's pressing even further forwards.
Launching
A
missiles.
drone for Rossi to see if he can clear off that angle. It's just a salvo, but
This
Luke
is
Show's not budging.
This is an interesting one from Exeter, isn't it? Trying to create this forward line of information with the attacking trip, because it's a throwable.
Yeah.
It's quite nice. In theory, you've got information if they go walkabouts in mid, though you don't cover double door. 3 players here, though. And a rotate of Barty.
Yeah, I think they heard a footstep.
This is going to be a tough exec.
It's going to be quite difficult indeed. They do have Poppin's ult to potentially facilitate. Salvo's down, drone on top of it. A double dash there from Kesman, looking to lead it all the way in, and it is getting some value. And Kawazine and Darker straight back at him. My God, Darker! Not outdone at all. This is a map where he is lighting them up.
26 and 12. Darker looks amazing individually. Loud's macro, though, getting that stack into the right place at the right time, completely reading what Envy were going for. And they had that double hold in Art as well, so they knew that there wasn't a lurk in that area. Darker's mechanics look great today.
So good. It is so good.
He was at the top of the scoreboard map 1 as well. His stats for the series overall are going to be outrageous.
Yeah. Ryan right now, and it's pushing Envy into difficult territory. They used to be in the ones to take control of a game.
It's a bit better this time, actually, from Envy. They managed to dodge the majority of that KO knife impact. Only 2 players seen, but it was a duelist, so still going to inform the rotate.
There it is, rolling carpet's going to be laid out towards our backboard position. This is really dangerous, Darker, and there's a saturate, great combo. Good util indeed. Envy finding a way forwards despite a bit of a shoddy buy. They've got the ults to at least bail themselves out here. Let's press Loud into a 3v4.
Loud just holding on with the null command.
Cutting. Waiting it out, Baddy. Eventually it's going to be dissipating. Salvo, second wave of things, a pocket to play in. Baddy's just trying to avoid this one, jumping up, and really the damage there. Kawazine trying to stand his ground. Baddy trying to slip the net, hoping that he was unaccounted for. But Rossi had his watchful eye onto it.
With a Guardian as well. Tough weaponry for Envy to win an incredibly important round, but it saves them. Their economy is still not in a great spot. Both teams are looking poor right now. Loud, though, in a better position.
Wow, Rossi, oh my God, baby.
Look at the buy that both teams are working with here. Rossi's going to keep the Guardian.
Yeah.
On the other side of things, a hero rifle and Luke Shaw with an ultimate, so it's not that far off.
It's a little bit all over the place here. Saboteur to the corner now. You can see that overdrive popped off. Gearing up for the fight. This is Loud opting into it. To be punished as a result, but risks need to be taken when the money is tight.
If there hadn't been a full 5 players there from Envy, maybe Loud would have found more success.
Yeah. Only avoiding most of this one. That's an alt use from Kesnid. He's caught 2 of his teammates.
He's caught 5 people with that ult.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't catch anyone on Loud.
He's pushed the back out though. Flash supportive util, but Kavazine doesn't quite have the gun for it. Gearing up. No stone unturned, and Buddy's just trying to be nicer with the movement. Not enough to survive that though.
Envy making a serious game out of this one.
Yeah.
Was a half-buy round from Loud, but one where they committed 2 of those economic ultimates, Neon and the Chamber. Giving Envy a little bit of a challenge, but Envy draw it back to within 1. This next round coming up could be for the series.
Really could. It could all end here.
Loud are going to be able to scrap together at least 1 more buy, I think. If this one goes disastrously, they're on a big loss bonus. And they've still got some in the bank.
A sigh of relief. I don't know what's going on there. Adjustment of the chair.
Showing off.
Yeah.
Playing to the camera.
Within touching distance though here, Envy. They are clawing it back. Guns finally back in the hands of these Loud players. They can be happy with that, but...
A-main feint from both teams. Both teams trying to make it feel like they're playing for A-main, but actually neither occupying that space.
Both drones being used at the same time here. Clearing a bit of a path into B if a player wants to take it. Trademark, I believe, spotted. Samo into the corner. This is rapid going now. No obfuscating it. Envy are fully intending on trying to hit over towards this B side, and it's putting pressure onto Baddy and Luke Show to util. It's good though. Flashes. Push them back for now, and time is of the essence. Kesnid does not have a refract. There's a trade. Luke Show is there. He's the thorn in their sides at this point. Stuck towards the back of Halls. It needs to be cleaned up, but he is just a problem player. Dominating right now. This is his domain. Step into his sight if you dare. Never outdone. This guy is shining entirely, bringing Loud to that 12th round.
Loud are getting so many big moments out of these two. Darker and Lucio have shown up time and time again. Barty was just trying to ignore Kesnid and hope that he could get the second player in. Look at this lineup. Wow. And Lucio's so clean with it too. In terms of the scoreboard, Cowan Seed's also putting up a much better performance now in map 2 compared to map 1. And Loud stand on the precipice of pushing us to Breeze.
I'd love that given the circumstances again. Playing with the assistant coach. Multitude of issues facing them. They are just trying to scrap together a win any way possible against an Envy squad. Also weakened given the circumstances, but to go to map 3, that would be excellent.
Barty's knife there catches onto, I think, 4 players from Envy. But Loud don't push. They keep the exact same defensive setup.
Another peek, Luke Show. He's got a hot hand. Willing to use it now. He's going to be way out in the open, popping, hoping he can take a timing. The Sober is the first one in right now, and he's going to be making the most of it. With movement like this, still accounting for these players. Luke Show! Snap back and adjust. Puts them straight back to that spectator seat. And for Loud, the precipice here to move all the way to Breeze. A third map for them. On the cards, Luke Show ready for it. Demon 1 dropped and traded. Kesnid in a 1v1 to try and get that extension in this map. 11 health towards him. Verdi fully healthy.
30 seconds left.
Spike is unaccounted for. Time is running out.
He knows exactly where Verti is, but he's not sure whether he's on the right side or the left.
Might be peeking too much though, because Verdi has got his eye! What? What? This is up in the air, man! What just happened there?
What the hell? I've never seen that before.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Never seen
Time
that.
froze for a sec.
What? Is that a new ability?
Yeah. I mean, the tension was palpable.
That's crazy.
I mean, my God.
What a moment for it to freeze. I mean, okay, we get to see it probably on the replay.
I assume that was the case because Kesnit stood up and
yeah. Dude, I mean, that's an insane round from Kesnit.
Yeah. You got to know.
We were right there with you.
There's ghosts in the machine today.
Final round of regulation, though. Loud with another opportunity to push it to breeze.
Birdie off. Oh, no, I should say the Outlaw! Making good usage of it.
And again, Envy find themselves on the back foot.
Cleaving down. This Envy squad that have fought so hard to try and drag it to that OT.
Luke Shaw heard them in mid.
Luke Shaw's behind them now, waiting here.
Oh, that's a
freebie.
freebie.
Use that's surely a freebie. Yeah, no one watching the back.
Spike down.
Spike dropped on top of it. Luke Shaw. Free range right now. He's roaming around in their spawn. He's looking for a bit more. Rossi's not going to be aware of that at all. Running rampant, and that surely should do it. Had miracle round after miracle round on either side of these squads, but Loud, they are dead set on heading to breeze.
And they have earned it. The grit that they've shown here, and Luke Shaw really is running rings around them. He's got another freebie to close it too.
13-11, hard fought match, and we're going to see this one go the distance all the way to breeze.
The snakebite is phenomenal. So I think on defense in particular, Loud's composition is going to have to be heavily relying on the op in Verdi's hands or just shots being hit by Darker and Luke Shaw. But they start on the attack.
Let's get to it.
Proactivity from Envy instantly.
Yeah, immediate push. Straight past that cove. It's going to be sailing down. A couple of shots though raining down. And Kisnet, that damage earlier, he wasn't eager to get into the engagement there, but Exeter just walks into it anyway.
Right here.
Kind of a wild play there from Exeter.
Yeah.
I think he was looking to try to support Kisnet with the fight that he was taking at the spawn and didn't realize players had already pathed towards that window. Static for now, though, Envy, hoping that Loud walk into them and make a big mistake. But they're headed back to Rossi.
Making moves towards A.
Rossi's got a retake wall on A here, really.
Blocking
and he's
fire.
backing all the way up.
Yeah, conceding a lot of space. He is alone. Doesn't know if they've compromised towards mid. Any other section, but now with a steep push from MV, they're starting to get a bit of an inclination of what's happening. High Tide rips its way across, knife against the back of that pyramid, alongside the dart. So what are you two being used to make sure that this is clear? But MV are home, and they are rapidly approaching the flank, popping straight behind them, but accounted for in the end. This is Darker just putting him into the grave. Calling for a pause, you have 25 seconds left roughly to work with, but Loud, as that curtain drops, they're willing to take and opt into the fights, but this is dangerous, precarious stuff. Damage done across the board. Lots of players weak. It could come down to a game of timings.
They have to go for a safe plan
12
here.
seconds, Rossi's circling around them right now. Demon 1 on 15 HP. Swift Breeze will bring down these players, but adjustments there, tapping away. Loud are trying to bail their way out. These players are so damn low. Incredibly winnable right now for Rossi. 15 HP, 19 HP. Darker and Batty have got to do it all now, and they are holding their composure. But Rossi just a little bit better.
A 4K in the round to save Envy. All of that chip damage that they've done throughout the round accumulated into a winnable position for him. If the health advantage hadn't been there, that one almost would have been impossible, I think. But he comes out with the Red Bull clutch. Not in his head, happy with the way that he played that too. The pressure completely froze Darker and Vathi. They were trying to set up a high-low.
him, bro.
All right, Rossi got my
Yo,
four.
Sheriff.
Looking to go into the next round with some decent weaponry. You know, a lot of respect here, not wanting to throw away the round.
It's an Outlaw in his hands, forced up.
Outlaw full armor as well, so that you could potentially take a fight against another player with an Outlaw. Or a player with a Guardian too that would normally two-tap you.
All in investment, Loud clearly. Trying to buy into Verdi, opping, outlawing, whatever it is with the scope weapons, especially with him on the Jet. Hold on, that's revealed the surprise. Because they do have full HP, but he doesn't take any damage in the process. Wasn't at risk of going down.
It's really good information to feed to Poppin and Exeter, who are the two players with light armor. Just to tell him, you do not want to be looking for fights here. Exeter's actually jiggle peeking towards A main, which he's got to be careful about.
There's no deep positioning up in A main. He's the one jiggling for that information currently.
That smoke, though, is quite nice and a perfect timing, because now Loud are going to be worried that somebody's actually posted on a much deeper position against them. Harder for Verti to get in front of this and look for picks.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
time is running out here.
There's 40 seconds left into the round. You can play the clock as much as you want, trying to solo sell the fake with just Baddy. Sends out a knife, picks up the orb.
30
Trying to put his
seconds
body on
left.
the line to get something done here. These players are still occupied ever so slightly. Baddy will go down. Verdi though with that outlaw, he does get the job done. That was extra, that half HP target does go down. Kesnit trying to weave in and out, but these players have already slipped the net. But Luke Show, accounted for, at least called down. Kesnit's going to be coming into the rest of the team, but Loud swarming now. Full access towards the back of this site, ingrained in their positions. This is going to be difficult to root out. Plays up though, inside that smoke, a lot of damage done. Rossi softened up for Darker to be able to trade. Demon 1, seen miracles from this guy, Guardian in hand, but that is too much to account for. Swiftly dealt with in a thrifty round, right back at it.
The Outlaw purchase works wonders there for Loud, doesn't it? But I can't understand why Envy have the 2 players with light armor the first to take contact. Exter is the one jiggling over towards A. He gets punished. Hoppin goes for a jump swing. He gets punished. Everyone else would have been able to tank those shots. Whoa.
Dude.
That's what I was saying.
That's it, man. I mean, it spells it out.
Yeah, but the next word he said was how, and I think that's the point. That's the key. Loud do it again. They win another one of these follow-ups after the pistol goes the other way.
Smokes on smokes. MV just looking to vacuum up the orbs on a round like this when they don't have the guns to work with.
Rossi's pretty close, actually, isn't he, after that 4K that he got? Has to slide out the way of both of those smokes dissipated in a moment.
Yeah. Really patient play here from Loud as well.
Yeah, the patience does work in your favor when you have an outlaw on the attack side and it's, you know, everything for you. What I'm worried about is if they're too patient here in a 5v4.
And then walk into the stack.
And then they walk into the stack late round. At the end of the day, it is a complete gamble, right? There is a 50-50 here. If you flip and it lands on B, you're in trouble. And they are magnetically attracted to the wrong direction.
I mean, this is going to be troubling.
There is still time for them to bail, but only just, and it's ticking down.
Drone looking for an opportunity to see if they can spot one of these players. Knife is going to be going down onto the floor, potentially a tag onto them, but Snakebite not doing much to really push back Baddies all the way in. Shield's gone down and out. That is target-rich environment-wise, and listen, Loud made the most of it. It could have been really dangerous.
It could have been, but there wasn't much follow-up on the Snakebite there, and Verti is finding some good success early on. 5-1, rocketing towards the top of the scoreboard with Darker. He had a struggle of a map, and I think he'll be really happy that his team helped him through it on Pearl. And now, on Jet, might be his time to shine. Envy get rifles back in their hands, and the ults are nearly there. Demon 1 is probably going to have this Isobot online at some point during the round. Loud maybe looking for a B-pop early. They know that Rossi's been here with the Snakebite.
Dance there. Rossi, though, still willing to see if he can hold it down. Eventually dealt with, though. Kamazine straight up onto it. Lucia's going to be able to hear this one. They're surely scurrying and scuttling into the sand. Lucia just trying to really gear up and take these fights. Got the rest of the team now to help him out. Takes down the shield, but no one else willing to try and offer themselves up. With Lucia going down now. That is the ult expended. Trying to drag somebody out into the gulag. Demon 1, he should be good for it. Aim is sharp, on point today. And Baddy left in that 1v3. Stun is even better, and they're just toying with him at that point. Clinical stuff.
Beautiful Dambi-esque movement there from Kesnit. But it gets the job done, it really does. That's where you see the value of the ISO ultimate, right? One pick, generates it for Demon 1. He gets the shield back based on this kill that he lands here. So the shield helps him kill Lucio, then he gets the shield back, able to pop the ultimate, and they win the round off the back of that, basically.
Nice. Let's go, bro.
This is the half as well that Envy, I think, should struggle with a little bit more. It's hard to play this composition on defense. When the sides swap, I think Envy will have a much better time. And so it's really important if you flip that around that Loud finds some big value. Their attack side opping.
Yeah.
I want to say again, but it was an outlaw previously. Plays pretty similarly.
Quick look towards doors in mid. Viper's Pit. That's going to be problematic. But still, good first kill. Kesnet being dropped too.
Verti's on it with the scoped weapons.
Yeah, he is.
He's been hitting these nice shots with the Outlaw and the Op so far. It's a B retake wall. And they're just trusting that Rossi can hold the whole of A.
I mean, his back completely exposed here towards mid. They're going to throw down a bit of a smoke, but luckily nobody willing to exploit over towards A.
They're also not playing retake B.
Stacking a couple of bodies now. Players are waiting. Hiding away because they know the operator's in play, but this could be dangerous. Nevertheless, the dash fades here. Not making the most of it. The barrel potentially going to be sticking out here, so Exeter, yeah, now he definitely knows. He's going to be looking to try and hold this one down now. Walls flying forwards, Luke Show! That is just disrespectful. Darkler luckily there to try and help out. These players are trying to really put it, stamp out this opposition that they are seeing right now. Team 1 being overloaded though.
30 seconds left.
Buddy with the Blade Storm eventually cleaning him up. Spike picked up, Rossi is quick up onto the flank here. Window not watched for, that is a quick kill. Eddie up, and Rossi's looking for a few more. 1v2, pure mechanical individuality. That could be what shines here, but Darker makes sure to clean it all up, ensure that nothing goes awry.
It's a messy, messy round, but Loud coming out on top in some of these. Crucial one as well for them to be able to win. This was a round where Envy's economy dies if you take it.
One enemy remaining.
Lots of ultimates expended here from Loud as well. They understood how important that was. Darker just swings at the end.
Yeah.
Verti was at 22 HP.
Yeah, wasn't probably able to trade that.
No, no. Kesnet now with a hero rifle. And still with enough money to buy an op in the next.
The same game plan from Loud. Take this operator up through mid.
It makes you very worried about jiggle peeking even any of these spots. And then how do you get information about where Loud are contacting?
Yeah.
Very clear game plan of how Loud want to put pressure on Envy here. Make them scared to peek.
Smoke's fading. Envy are definitely scared to peek here. They don't want to show the hand. 4-player stack over towards A. Drone clears a path. Team 1 just trying to break this one to the best of his abilities. Eventually he does, but showing signs of life. The Loud still want to go into this. They only saw the one.
Kesnet
gearing up for it. Wide out to the open, but that stun just doesn't connect in time. It's Verdi with a quick snap back, sends Kesnet packing. We'll see if the rifle can be reclaimed. Right now it's just a guessing game, but these players are just kind of walking straight into it. Team 1, Sheriff in hand, shielded up. No, oh my god, another ult! No way! This one rip! But the players gone, anticipated. The ult goes wide, but the round might be theirs nevertheless. Anyway, Luke Show is none the wiser to the positioning. A thrifty win as they just walk straight into the trap that was waiting.
That still felt, even as I was watching the kills flood the kill feed for Envy, like Loud were going to be able to equalize at some point. Surely they get the trade on Demon 1. Surely Poppin isolated in their main. They can clean up.
Level of confidence from Demon 1 off the charts.
It's just a 3v5.
Yeah. Hits these 2 shots and he's like, I've got the ult, I've got a Sheriff, I'm taking it.
And Darker just walks out there with no thought to the fact that there could be a second player.
I think potentially just too occupied of avoiding the kill contract, but...
Yeah. Oh, that's a big one to lose. That's tough for Loud. They've got ultimates themselves to play around, though.
Yeah.
And Loud are back to the contacting. This time without the operator, though. I think anytime there isn't an op in play, Envy are going to be a bit happier to contest.
Drone, it's going to need to be dealt with. Can't really hide from it the whole time, but Poppin is going to be taking it down mid. Doesn't see too much.
Man, he was just holding the W key there and almost walked into the open.
Real dangerous stuff. Kesnet, I believe, picking up the operator. It's been purchased in prior rounds by the opponents.
Heading back to go for an A exec. I'd imagine we're looking at a Luke Show or Darker ultimate to help this one path in.
There's a lot of pressure on Exeter here. He's got to try and shove this one back because Kesnet will be caught in a bit of a corner. A ton of util revealed, blinded up. It's perfect stuff in terms of that supportive element, and now Kesnet's got a lot to do from a spot like this. Ults are being used, Hunter's Fury to see if they can bail him out, but he's revealed the entire time. It's easy pickings. Loud, they run all over this site now, and they're going to be in full ownership of it. Spike down plant, an extension into the round, and bodies are just toppling at this point. back and forth we go between these two teams.
And Verti says, thank you very much. Gets an operator in his hand as
Straight
well.
back again.
Yeah. I did say earlier that Envy, I think, are going to struggle a bit more on this defense side. You can see with Extra's positioning. It's a little bit easier, I think, to get value out of their ultimates on the attack as well when they start snowballing potentially with Demon 1 and Extra. But Lauda doing a decent job of bouncing back after a very tough anti-eco failure there.
Yeah.
Did feel a bit too easy for them to be able to overwhelm with the Sova utility. Kawanzin's Sova util just decimated the A-hole.
It's all Extra, right? I mean, if any util comes his way, Kesnet can't break any of it. He's stuck in backside, and double doors needs to be held.
And then when Extra goes down, nobody can break the utility for Kesnet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a flimsy defensive setup, but still making it competitive. You can see the pressure mounting on these players' faces.
Extra was already struggling, I think, a little bit with pressure and kickoff.
Oh, of course.
Wasn't able to show his best. Like, Extra definitely can play better than we saw from him this year, even against tier 1 teams. Like, he definitely can. And now he's in.
Yep.
And now he's in an even more difficult situation because they've killed his baby. Yoru's dead.
It's tough. Real tough spot that he's been pressed into, but he's taking one for the team by showcasing flexibility.
This is a play off Extra's ultimate maybe in mid. They're looking to take contact and Extra's holding some util in his hand.
Yeah, cooking something up. Just team 1 off of his contact. There is that deep push from Loud. They've been contesting mid pretty much every time that they've got the operator. At some point though, Verti got rid of it. Not too sure when.
Yeah, a change of the game plan, because I thought they were going to want to do that basically whenever they had the funds to be able to afford it. Heading back now into Kesnet. How good's Kawanzin's util this time? It was a big problem for Envy in the previous round.
Yeah, definitely. Recall smoke. See if you can take up residency. Stack of Envy bodies. They've gambled incorrectly. Kesnet. Drone up. High Tide now going to be ripping his way through. It's a Trey shot in the dark. Make it a second one, but he's not going to be getting too much done with that. Has to give up access to this site. The High Tide to try and flood all the way in. They're trying to take this one fast now. Near sighted. As that wall comes through, Berti just slams the door in their faces. But Rossi, he's trying to really fight his way back. Tooth and nail. One player though against the Might Loud.
Going for a super fast flood approach there, Envy was. Trying to utilize Extra's ultimate, but Loud had already created these little caverns to play inside with the smokes. And you can see here from the replay, Buddy just not affected at all by the ult. Didn't get hit by the near sight, but to be honest with you, Brent, even if they had been hit by the near sight, they were already so close that I think Loud were going to be in control of that. The positioning was much more aggressive than Envy were expecting. And they're taking attack timeout.
It's the first one for Envy in this map so far, and just down 2 rounds. And we've been trading, going bar for bar, essentially, up until this point here, where they're feeling like they're losing grip of the half.
If you erased the first half of Lotus from your mind, I think you'd very clearly say that Loud have been the better team so far.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I mean, if my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bike. But, but what I mean is, a lot of these halves, Loud have either been slightly ahead or actually had some good ideas that Envy haven't had responses to.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is continuing. They're getting themselves into decent spots where Envy are really struggling to find the correct solution.
Yeah, Loud are 1 step ahead. I mean, you can already see Envy last round, they were trying to account for the attack side off. Slow contact plays in mid. They had a stack of it, a trap play set up, but
Verti's already got rid of it.
Exactly. They're going into a different avenue entirely, so 1 step ahead.
It's a nice sign for Loud, who were struggling so much in terms of their ideas at kickoff. That aspect of their game has definitely looked like it's improving.
Absolutely. That's why they made the changes around. Loud team is desperate for their first win since July of last year. Exter doesn't have much to work with here. Can't be expecting too much from him in a spot like this.
It's really difficult to play Harbor as an anchor in this spot.
Yeah, it is. Finding it difficult though, but still that High Tide will rip its way through regardless. And Util's going to be sent out.
No charges left.
Besides the fact Verti, he's got that shorty. Doesn't want to really cross that boundary. Will be slowed, but now Star layered down. Just spam into the dark, and they are just finding the marks, aren't they? Look at that. Clean sweep.
And that's best case scenario for Extra. He manages to, get the wall timing off. The wall gives him a little pocket to play around and makes it a bit difficult for them to come out into sight. And even so, even if he had a rifle in that situation, I think he'd be hard pressed because you can target Util onto his position so effectively. And if they go any faster than that, Extra's just going to have Util in his hands. It's tough to play Harbor on defense side, which, as a reminder, is why Loud, I think, are going to struggle more when the halves flip. But Envy need another one at least, I think, in order to make this one competitive.
String something together. Different direction to take the operator, and now and again another switch up. That is a big dart reveal. I believe getting information from two of these players.
It feels so different to map one. Loud are just allowed a ton of space on attack.
Demon One's way out of the open. No shield popped off at all. Isolated. Again, that strength.
Spike down mid.
Trying to really play into his own hand with the aim, and this is Poppin just taking liberties again. This is a rapid approach to try and backstab. That's a spike drop down. High Tide, see if you can retrieve it. Dart for a dart, spam into it, but Kawazine just follows the tracers, follows the bullets. He's rewarded with a kill like that. Extra with a deep push. Slapped down to earth once more. 7 rounds now for Loud, entirely in control.
I think the conditioning early on of making them afraid of this attack side off has just worked wonders. Envy cannot find the right timings to fight them. And that is what Envy's all about. On the defense side, Envy wants to fight you. But here, they're so scared of walking into Loud holding angles at the start of the round. They don't know what to do against a slow team that contacts against them. It's a very, very nice stylistic adjustment from Loud that's paying dividends here. Because think about Lotus, the way that Envy were running at them constantly, Kesnet doing anything he wanted on Neon. This could not be more different.
Pure disrespect and opting into the fights, this time not working out. And again, guns aren't there. Envy though waiting behind, and who's going to be watching this one? Util is held, shield pop, no, that gives the indicator. The spray down, Banty! Why not? Pump up the numbers, couple of eco kills. Really applying that psychological damage. 8 rounds now for Loud, a team. All smiles.
Yeah, I think that's another thing to be said about Loud. Even when things were going badly early on in this match, they did still have that positive mentality. They were still laughing about some of the mistakes that were being made. And now, you can just see the difference in terms of their reactions to that round.
Exactly.
Envy are struggling to come up with any kind of adjustment that's going to work for them.
Last round of this half. Gonna put it all on now, and it looks like they're gearing up for a bit of a scrap in towards mid again. Body blocking a bit of this Util here. The smokes on smokes. High Tide rips his way. Null command on top of it, but this elbow angle needs to be accounted for. This is Envy putting the squeeze, the pinch. Pure individuality. They're trying to take this fight together. It's left it into the hands of Kawazine. Not for much longer. A rapid end to this final round of this half. And Envy managed to scrap together the 4.
Yeah, in the 11th hour, Envy find that round that I think is going to make a crucial difference. If they can win a pistol, if they can get an ult snowball starting to go with the ISO, with the Harbor on, this could still be a winnable game for them, but Loud are certainly in the driver's seat.
Nice.
Nice.
You got it right, right, right. Nothing is out of me. You
Here we go, second half underway, and this is a match that has been heating up as it's progressed right now. Loud in the driving seat. Team that has not won since July of last year. Players thousands of miles away from home, and they're on the cutting edge right now. A pistol round is how we're going to be beginning the second half. For Envy, they've got to pick themselves back up again.
I think it's an incredibly important pistol for Envy too, because their composition, in my opinion, revolves around getting that alt snowball going, especially for Demon 1. This is the big thing with the ISO. It does two things on Breeze. One is the alt snowball. You get it going, you grab people, you win rounds on the attack. The other thing is that you can pop shield and swing into the Verti op, and you can neutralize the op in that kind of way. So these two key things have got to justify the pick, otherwise the composition falls to pieces, and you need a pistol round to even get yourself into that position where the ults start to cycle.
Walking and contacting from both teams. It's a bit taken up residency-wise, but Verti's making a lot of noise here because just from the sound of that drone, none the wiser. Envy were ready to just jump and pounce on the opportunity here, but High Tide rips his way across, and they're not ready to contest. Darker, he just shuts them down at the door! Whole squad turning up here for this one. A pistol round in the back pocket allowed. They are more than happy. They are ecstatic.
The macro idea works perfectly for Envy, but the individuals are simply better today. Darker, Luke Show, Darker especially in this spot, man. He's just tucked close towards main, hitting every shot he needs to. Poppin swings out into him, immediate dink, finishes him off. He makes it look simple today.
Yeah.
And Envy just walking in to a spot where they have to clear multiple angles, thinking that they've got it for free.
It's dire for Envy in a position like this.
I think these are the rounds where I'd like Envy to be playing for ult orbs, and they're not. They're just barreling up mid.
Running straight up mid, throwing anything at the wall and seeing what sticks! But the bodies are toppling regardless. Darker has been on point, on fire this entire series, all today. He's not stopping now.
No, he just looks immaculate. He's been their best player, outshining even the normal star of Luke Show. Demon 1 gets a kill, gets a death. But like I said, I'd like them to be playing to their win cons here, which even when you lose pistol, I think is using the eco round here to
follow the orbs
on the ISO and just look for that to be your win condition as you cycle forwards. But maybe they'll do it in this round. They do have a weapon advantage. Look at it, 5 rifles for Envy, 6 rounds down. They need this, and they need it to be fairly clean.
They'll pull it back now.
Loud have a chance to just win the series right here.
A bonus conversion would be unbelievable for them. Luckily for Envy, full armor across the board. Outlaw is going to be less of a threat, but Verdi on a comfort roll, prime position, really being enabled with the scoped weapons, and there's a chance. That's Kesnet dropped down, 10 HP. He's immediately going to be getting the hell out and potentially playing in the bait and switch. They're not ready for Demon 1.
Nice patience from Demon 1 there. Expecting somebody to be filling that space behind. Loud are really just going walkabouts in mid, man.
Yeah. At this point, 2 players down are willing to take risks.
Yeah, it's definitely a round where you can go for those kind of risks. If at some point Envy walk into B, Barty's there with a judge. Should be clean though from here for Envy. We've seen a lot of thrifties, a lot of the lighter buys getting value.
Luke Shaw.
Off screen, deletion.
Hold on, he's stepping up into the smoke. He's just, I think, betrayed by the panel. Judge potentially popping out. Darker. How much more can you do just with this weapon? One sheriff shot could have done it. Kessin towards the back. He's dealt with. Luke Shaw still here, and this guy is dangerous. Upgrade acquired. No way! Luke Shaw absolutely diffs them. For the Red Bull clutch to put Loud to 11.
He is a menace, man. A 1v3 in that spot. With a picked up weapon, completely catches Kesnet by surprise, swinging through the harbor wall.
Unbelievable.
Such a mess from Envy.
The underdogs are just running with it right now.
Romanilli is popping off.
Can't believe it. We're getting into it. 5 caught with a knife. Envy scrambling for options right now, and that space is immediately taken up.
They've got
Luke Shaw.
They have to catch Luke Shaw on the flank here.
He's
This is the
straight
win
in there.
condition. They're not even looking at it.
Well, he knows all grouped up for the B pop, but they were just stunted by the knife immediately, and Luke Shaw, yeah, he's running away with it now.
I can't believe they're not thinking about that. That's one of the main protocols the defenders would have.
Loud squad on the verge. And MV, quick run up mid. The pivot option is called for back into B. Spraying down, bullets just barely missing. Whistling past Kesnet.
It's the biggest player who fell for Envy too. Player that would have been able to generate them picks by utilizing his ult. And Darker and Luke Shaw are just so good here in the retake. They got a Cosmic Divide, they got Cove.
Ulti being used, fight's taken out wide, and the players aren't ready for the trade. This could give it into Envy. Needs to be clean from here on out. And Envy winning this one out. That individuality again shining, it's what they lean on, it's what they rely on. Dissipating though with the Cove, but again, instantly there, up on top of the wall. Got to account for many positions here. Poppin just vacates, plays his lifetime's ticking, and they know that they can play to this one as an out. Rossi does not need to peek here, but the tap to try and pull them out into the open. Shots fired, snake bite there, and it's unwinnable for Loud themselves. Envy desperately get the round that they needed.
A mixture of brute aggression, Kesnet deciding to throw his body in there, determined to win the round, and then in the 2v1, Envy actually playing with quite a lot of discipline, which you have to, because these guys are on fire for Loud. Darker and Luke Shaw, there's not a round they've seen that they feel like they can't win. It might have been a silver lining there that Demon 1 actually went down early because he still has the ISO ult. And if there was any chance for Envy to get back in, it's on the back of the ISO ult, winning a round that could knock Loud's economy again.
Leaning over towards A, this time waiting out where the knife could be. There's a tag onto Poppin.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, Poppin wanted to fake B early on with this Viper wall, but now he can't because the knife has not just stopped him from droning, but it's also given away he's the only one there, really.
Exactly. Loud not budging though. 3 players over towards this area.
Yeah, now they're overcooking it, Envy.
I thought Envy would lean over towards A, try and at least fish out where Verdi could be. With the scoped weapon, he's a prime target for the ISO ult.
But it also might be a blessing in disguise that Poppin's drone got cancelled, because the drone into the ISO ult is your main combo.
Yeah. Wall's going to be ripped across here. Into the B site, that's going to be all primed, ready. Demon 1 has a shield, he's got to send it here, and now there it is, a bit of a refresher onto it. Into the 1v1 though. Critical fight to be won out, and he should be favored! He's lost it to the assistant coach! He's been diffed! Batty and Darker! They shut them out entirely! The 12th round is almost preordained. This is Loud, a team that has not won since July of last year, thousands of miles away from home, and they are on the brink of taking a critical win.
This match matters so much. It is only week 1, but whichever team loses this is almost cooked already for playoffs. That's the level of competition that they have in the rest of the group. You've got to be able to get the win over the opponents that you're expected to, and this one is the more even match towards the bottom. This is so critical, and Loud are stepping up when it matters. They did not have an easy road of things here, but they have 7 chances to confirm this.
Unreal form. The shield is heard. Batty saves a knife for that rainy day, and he's caught 4 of them immediately.
His knives have been such high impact, and the 1v1 win inside the ISO ult is just a cherry on the cake.
Here we go. Reckoning rolls forwards here, but inside that high tide, as you think, does not matter. Loud on top of the world right now. Demon 1 and Rossi, leave it to just Rossi. In a 1v4, he's got to do it all. 1 kill found. Could ISO the second? Rossi putting up resistance. For Darker and Batty, they've been on top of it. Spike.
They were the duo in the 2v4 that turned things around in this series on Pearl.
We'll see what they can do here. Safe positions tucked together. Rossi, though, rotating around. This could be it. Surely, surely. Backs towards him. Rossi just needs to catch a glimpse. And he's seen them all! 4 kills.
It's a good job Loud have 7 chances, because that one got thrown away. Should have been an easy way to close things out. Rossi got put in an impossible 1v4 and pulled a rabbit out of a hat. Could not have found a better way of being able to take down Darker and Badu.
No reaction.
But they're alive.
They are alive as a result of Rossi still in it.
Poppin's got no armor again.
Just forcing it. Again, you use the words brute force. It's the way that Envy are playing this one, and it certainly feels like it's straight up the gut, through mid. Shields are popped early, and as wide, swing straight through, trying to gear up and take these fights. Individuality again reigns supreme. Sidestepping, no Kawazine will be spammed down in the end. Rossi, the lurk. Should be a freebie, and there it is. Eventually gets control of it. Luke Shaw now left. 1v4. Spike not down, a bit of min-maxing in order, but Luke Shaw's picked up Exter in the meantime. If you take your time with this one, it could go wrong. Oh, missing the timing. Rossi potentially seeing him through the cove, though. It's all accounted for.
I like that Envy are going for the min-max in there, picking up the orb, giving Demon 1 the plant. Where was this earlier, though? Why is it taken until they got to 12-6 down for them to lock in? I don't want to put the evil into the air, but they do look like they've been fired up by that Rossi 1v4.
Yeah.
It would be the most loud thing in the world for it to fall away from them in this spot, but they still have 5 more chances. They're going to take a tactical timeout here. Romanilli maybe calming the troops, giving them one nice round on defense to close things out. But this round is going to be an eco. That means they're probably down to 4 opportunities. And then Demon 1 has his ult.
Yeah.
There are still challenges here.
MP pressed into a corner, proving that they are no slouches and not just going to be folding just like that. Loud. A lot of teams, they talk about it, that 13th round is often the hardest one to get. It's a hurdle to overcome.
But when you have this many opportunities, you really should be securing it, especially when you build up the ults. I think disaster scenarios happen if Loud feel like they can win in an eco scenario and end up throwing Luke Shaw, Darker, Kawanzin's ults after it. The ults are actually really good here on defense, for retakes in particular. But Kawanzin can put a lot of pressure down on a site here on his own. Again, it's just about saving it for one big round. And this is not that. It feels like 2. If they have 5 opportunities, that's 5 chances for Darker or Luke Shaw to have a moment. And they've had so many of them.
That's what I mean. They've been spelling defeat and disaster for Envy consistently. Guardian going walkabouts, taking a gander up through mid. There's coves on coves. That big reveal, though, from the dart. But he was not expecting that. So I'm down by 2 players. Luke Shaw might be able to take a timing from it, but tucked tight.
The risks are being taken at the right time for Loud.
Batty, slide off angle. He's alone here in main. Comes down to that first shot. And VR grouping up steadily. Looking to take the fight towards him. The drone. It's going to be layered down. Wants to play the percentage play at that. But he's slowed to a crawl, stunned. Revealed with the recon. Full steam ahead is the call for Envy. Rapidly approaching onto the flank is Luke Shaw with that Guardian. He's right there behind them. Risks taken entirely. And they might be none the wiser anyway. Their backs are open to this one. Smoke dissipating. The time to strike is now! Everybody turning away, but top away. The Guardian just can't quite get it under control. For the rifles in play, Paddy though still alive, eventually traded out, but stepping your mark way too far forwards. The Thrifties potentially not quite. Eventually shut down, and Rossi once more providing that resistance and keeping them in the game.
This next round could be everything. Both teams have massive ultimates here to be able to work with. As Loud, if you are concocting a way to close this match out, you have to be expecting them to lead with Demon 1's ult. So what do you do about that? How are you going to get yourself into a position where you can maybe bait it out but not get caught by it? Can you play retake with the Cosmic Divide, with the Harbor Wall? This is a test of Buddy's IGLing.
They're running it down, straight at the angles that Buddy likes to play, and they spotted him. Target acquired! Transfer though. It's good spray control. Luke Shaw puts a stop to Kesner. Hunter's Fury surely spells defeat. The kills are acclaimed anyway. Piling up, flash rebounds, and Buddy is straight in there. 3v2, trying to go for it! This is a mockery! But the most made of it for Loud. And surely this is it. 6 bullets remaining. Matters not. It's the coach that puts them in their place. Thousands of miles away from home for this Loud squad. The first win since July of last year, but they get it done.